It is episode 101. Joseph, will there be dalmatians?
There might be. Yeah, I guess there's nothing to stop you from acquiring them.
Is there anyone who doesn't understand that joke?
Uh, I think everyone understands
Don't
that
think
joke. But
anyone
who
wouldn't.
remembers what happened last time?
Not me.
Do you mean last episode or the episode before? Because last episode was horror movie night.
I mean, I'm still trying to fucking debate after
I mean-
last week about
Com-
what my
complete-
favourite
complete-
horror movie is.
Horror
actually-
movie night complete with a lot of a mare murder.
I mean, we do start off with Hume like wandering into this room and watching Colt stabbing a mare as usual. But this time everyone's watching a film.
No, there's like 5 different like dead mares, but they're all made of silver. And then there's
That's
another
true.
mare going, what? And there's another mare going, what the fuck, guy? Slice just plops in half.
It's like, whoa, come on, we could talk about stab.
He's not being malicious about it. It's very nonchalant, just swing. Another one spawns, swing.
It's like, come on, it's just a little jape, a joke, a little film.
Slice. Another one goes, okay, come on, this is getting expensive now. Slice. You'll have to send the prime one down sooner or later. Slice.
Yep. So, Fume, you walk in on that. How do you feel?
Hey, so we were meant to be going to Bethany to see if I'm gonna get killed.
Emma's like,
Indeed, that sounds like a much better use of our time. She's sword.
Emma's like, oh, you probably shouldn't go to the abyss. At least for a little bit.
Why not? I've not done anything that would be a problem there. Like my fiance's there.
It's a little bit murdery.
Why
You
would they
should-
murder me?
No, well, they might not. They might not.
So who would?
Oh, like the air.
Why would the air murder me?
I'm gonna be honest, I got a little bit cranky. I made nanobots that, like, seek out your genetic code and destroy you. Got a little cranky.
Can I ask why?
You are a monster.
It should be fine. I've created counter nanobots to hunt down those original nanobots. They should be done in, like, a week.
So you're saying that you're barring me from seeing my fiance for a week?
Well, like, she can visit you and stuff.
I'm just like staring.
She
I
stares back at you.
What about the rest of the inhabitants? You said might. I don't like it when you say might.
Oh, like, you know, they should be fine. Everyone unleashed on your fiancés yet, Leah's probably fine.
What about the other thousands
you.
and millions and billions of layers?
I don't know about them.
What about the lair run by the slime?
That's the slime's business. Although I haven't really heard a lot of demons report back from there.
I think he's eaten them all.
Oh yeah, he's definitely eaten them all.
So it's just him now.
Him and one guy who's
Well, no, he
so
does have-
desperately getting as much food as he can.
There is like quite a few demons there, but he has all of them running around like trying to find new things for the slime to eat because he's kind of sick of eating demons. So like everyone on that layer is basically just looking to scam you into like jumping into the slime's mouth.
At least you were honest about that one.
But otherwise, you should be fine. You should be fine. The abyss is only a little bit dangerous.
I hate you.
Do you have a
Fair
specific
enough.
reason for that? Or just in general?
Me?
Yeah.
Because, you know, she made the entire air of the place where the person I am most loving this multiverse lives toxic to me. What kind
Okay.
of
But
person does that?
you can still give her like a phone call.
But I don't
I
have a
mean,
phone.
if
She
you
doesn't have a
want,
phone.
I can inject you with some nanobots
You
that
do
will
not come near me.
heal you faster than the other nanobots can
Nope, do not
dismantle
come
you.
near me.
Stop
So,
injecting nanobots, whatever the hell they are.
they
and
solve
Nanobot
like every problem.
nanobots are a problem, and you should stop making them.
But you see, you'll be in constant pain, but it will let you see her. Your skin will only melt slightly.
Do the nanobots target the rest of us? Because surely we could just go there and say, "Hey,
I
Bethany, come with
would
us."
like to attempt to freeze this Amira into a statue.
It joins the rest of the silver amaze. There's a lot. There's a lot of Amare statues in this room. Someone who visited
Yeah,
this ship would be like, "Man, why have they got so many statues of this one person? They must really like them."
I'm gonna have
no, it's the opposite.
I'm gonna have the ice bear start shifting like Amira statues into the airlock to get thrown into space.
Like, and off they go, drifting away.
Okay, so I can't go visit the person I wanted to go visit. So what's everyone else's plan?
So that was kind of.
I mean, we had the chat about fighting the god that is locking up our god friend.
I think that seems like a
Eh.
bad plan.
We could go
Because
kill
you
the
think
time
that we're
dragon.
not.
We could go kill the time
Before-
dragon lieutenants Ben will pipe up with. That's a plan.
Okay.
Go
Mm,
murder them. We
Mhm.
could try and kill the government. That's also a plan.
I just remembered
Wait, were we not working with the government?
again,
I need to
just
send
trying
Joseph
to
a
get
message.
back to Fume's point. Fume,
We
because
are.
you think that trying to get back to Fume's point. Fume, because you think that we're not strong enough for that yet.
Yes. I think we will die horribly.
Hmm.
I think we will not remember why we are there, and then we will die horribly.
God, Joseph, you sent me that message so long ago.
I think there must be something we can do when we have, like, say, control over time that would be helpful. I understand the wish to free your friend. He would be very useful if he was able to be here more often. But it, like, is the god of memory evil, right?
I mean, he was on the opposing side in a war that Ra was trying to stop. And we know Ra as a guy. We know
So, like-
that he's good. We know that he's on like our side in terms
So you,
of
you said
no.
two different things there that don't go together.
Universe
You said opposing side, and then in a war that he was wanting to stop. So was Ra taking part in this war or trying to stop this war?
Also, don't forget Ra was trying
Said he was
to
trying to
kill
stop it.
the other sun god.
Which one?
The current one, I guess.
Fuck that guy.
I mean, I said, one, fuck that guy. But I said to Ra, if that guy's willing to settle things less violently than 100%, and Ra was down for that, so that's up to him, whoever he is. I thought that was a problem for later. No, I hear what you're saying, Fume, and I kind of get it. I mean, I have some ideas, but how successful they'll be, I have no certainty. So maybe put a pin in that for now. Also, Ben, what you said, that's kind of something I've been thinking of, I've been meditating on lately. Of all the of all the people who have asked us to fight and asked us to more specifically kill, the Time Dragon hasn't done that,
Accurate.
but everybody else does.
Also true. The time dragon never asks us to really kill or hurt anyone.
So
So my question is, are there any artifacts that we can just go and fight to go and obtain?
Well,
And
the only ones
leave
that
the morality side of it for later.
the only ones that I know of that aren't being held by the time dragon right now, or they're like lieutenants, are held by like all of the governments as a big shared thing.
And the way that we've been going so far, it's been a. Hopefully, we can all come together and talk about this at the end, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I have contact other plane. Would that be able to like message this god of memory and be like, "Hey, would you please free Ra, the sun god? He's really like learned his lesson about trying to kill other gods."
So you're casting contact other plane.
I know my question is like, would I be able to direct it that way now that we're like, above 28 level?
All right. Ben will probably say you could probably connect,
Uh-huh.
but we do know that information about the memory god is dangerous.
Uh-huh.
So it might be dangerous.
In what way?
Like you might get attacked by a god.
For saying hello?
Like maybe we don't know anything about him. It could turn out to be like Space Hitler.
True.
Wait, is that a reference in this universe?
Yeah.
Huh. Even in D&D, we can't escape the fact that Hitler was awful. Like, we could just live in a universe where he never existed. And instead, we'd have whatever Lawrence's weird character from Space Britain was the major fascist of the world. Actually,
True. I guess maybe.
You could try contacting him, and he could just be basically the same as that guy.
Like
is
he might
Fireball
be.
around?
He is. Fireball's there, sitting right next to Sonya.
I would like to ask Fireball if he knows what that guy was like in his universe.
Which guy?
Lawrence.
What?
Because
Hitler or...
no, the memory god. Because if the memory god erases your memory in this universe, then he probably doesn't do it in Fireball's universe. Instead, everyone would know about him if it's an opposite universe, which it is.
The alignments are specifically the thing that are the opposite.
Okay,
Not everything's the opposite.
I just want to know if Fireball has any idea whether this guy's a good guy or a bad guy in his universe. At which point we could know it's the opposite in this universe.
Fireball.
Yeah.
You don't remember.
Yeah, I've got no memory of that, unfortunately.
Well,
Okay,
I'm gonna.
thanks for trying.
I'm gonna operate on the mentality of if he had nothing to hide, why would he erase everybody's memory of him?
Because it's literally his domain.
But then, how does he get worshippers and followers? Isn't that how God? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that how gods are supposed to work?
Oh no, that's in a pre-5th edition setting. And in a 5th edition setting, gods just come into existence.
What is a 5th edition?
What's 5th edition?
This is what I was
reality have
complaining.
editions now. What the fuck?
This is what I was complaining about in chat a little while back. Was like now gods just exist and then they get worshippers sometimes, whereas in the old days gods came into existence because people thought about a concept a bunch.
But again, if he's a god and he's so powerful he can attack people in his in their memories, what's he got to be scared of? What's he got to hide?
Nothing. This might just be his
And then
nature.
it's like,
Like it depends on the whole. Like there's a chance that he might just be a good guy and you can talk to him.
Yeah,
But
because
there's, like,
nobody
also-
remembers.
Yeah, exactly. But there's also a chance that he could just like delete your brain or something. I really don't know.
And it's like a 20% chance of each, and then the entire spectrum in between those things is the rest of the percentage chance.
Yeah.
TQ on the monitors will pipe up and go, I can download all my memories onto an external drive, put a program, you have Ben put a program into Instagram, talk to him, and then report back. If I don't come back, you know he's a wrongin'.
Or your memories got lost and you didn't know your way back.
I mean, I could probably track down my own, I reckon.
That sounds like that would take time. My thing is like an instantly. I just cast this thing and we find out if he explodes my brain or not.
Well, excuse me.
Blinks
And-
off the screen.
And you guys can revive me, right?
I think so.
What if
I
you,
don't have any
what-
resurrection magic.
We can revive you, but what if you go into?
Oh yeah, I'm immortal. I forgot.
You
What if he
you
erases
are
you from our
immortal.
memory?
You are immortal. That is true. You can't die. At least not
What if
forever.
What if he erases you from our memory?
And it's been nice knowing you all.
I'd rather not forget. Cole looks like he's.
I'm just a humble slave, daughter of the most powerful fire elemental, and a weird creature that can't die,
You're not a
who
slave
you
anymore.
helped to free.
You are not a slave anymore. You are one of the most powerful fire elementals I've ever seen.
I am gonna prepare to cast this spell to try and contact the thing to ask him about it.
Are you ritual
and-
casting it?
Yeah, I'm gonna sort of set up a space, and I'm gonna like, nice knowing you, best buddy. Pointing at like doing finger guns at Sonya.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
You guys can erase time. It's fine.
No, we can't
I
anymore.
can't do that anymore.
Say that. Cast happens.
Text.
Yeah.
Panic. Text. The
ma-
time wizard. Help.
Please make a DC 15 intelligence saving throw.
Oh, I'm not good at intelligence saving throws.
That's good. Ah, right. So you failed. So, okay, you're insane now. Interesting. And
Did my
you
message
take-
get through?
I'm reading the spell. Let's just. Can't understand what other creatures say. Can't read. Can only speak gibberish. And you do not ask your questions. So what occurs is you go insane.
I finger guns at Sonya. And
Mhm.
I'm like, nice knowing you, best buddy, and then I go insane.
You take 25 damage and you go insane and you can't like speak or understand people.
And this has nothing to do with the person you're contacting.
But none of you know that.
No.
Yeah, Colt would think it's 100% the
Wow.
memory god, and he's like, "What did you do this for?" Why?
He sent her insane.
Yeah, it's just like sitting there in the middle of this ritual cast. Just like
This spell
drooling.
never works out for Fume, does it?
This spell never works
This is
out.
the first
It's
time I've
such a
cast
shit
this spell. As Fume. I had
No.
another character that I cast
Alright,
it every
yeah.
single day, but no,
Mm.
Fume has never cast this before.
It's yeah. So yeah, you go insane because the spell doesn't work out. Oh, this is tragic.
Is
Just
this
like
not one of
wide-eyed,
those ones
darting
where-
stares at different parts of the room.
Is this not one of those ones where it's like greater restoration or something fixes it?
Oh yeah, it can be fixed with greater restoration.
I can't remember what spells Ra has.
Amir comes from the other room.
No,
I can.
No,
fix
no,
this.
I'll fix it.
You don't
I climb the walls, like spider climb the walls to stay away from Amir.
Just on the ceiling, like no.
Even
No,
in
no, no.
insanity, everyone knows to stay away.
Amir's just
If
got
Amir
like a
gets
broom
control.
poking at you on the ceiling, like come
just,
on,
like,
get down.
I'm just like screaming in guttural noises at Amir.
Just like get down off the ceiling. Poke.
I'm
What will
screaming
be Amir?
gibberish, summoning like ice animals to like jump at Amir,
Like ah god,
just like an ice ferret.
we've got an infestation of fumes. No.
Throws Amir out the room, fling.
Did that
Ah,
come through?
Yeah.
it did.
Wow, I was trying to get that to come through, and sometimes they don't work. You try and make noises.
And the animal bites her right in the jugular.
It's good, sometimes says no.
So yeah, Fume is having a good time.
Just throwing ice
Chilling.
animals at like towards Amir. and then I'm like in the like corner of the ceiling, just crouched.
Oh, just watching people go across the corridors.
Didn't Sonia say she was going to fix?
I did.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Sonya to do something.
I was waiting for the chaos to die down.
As soon as the
died
mayor has
down.
run away, the chaos, like I'm like sitting there just like staring.
Then I will cast the greater of the restorations.
You're suddenly able to speak again and comprehend things.
At which point I fall off the space I've set because I'm not able to do that when I'm my normal self. Ah! So did that go well?
Land on the floor.
No, you went mad.
Try
Not sure if
again.
that was the mind god doing it or
Ah,
not.
fucked up. Sorry guys, I fucked up the spell. Try again.
Now, either you fucked up the spell or you forgot and he did that to you and then you showed back up.
Sonia, can you not bend fate to make it so it works?
Probably.
Both possibilities are technically equally likely.
Let's roll some portents. Why did I roll 70? 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I have 4? Do I have 5? Doesn't really matter.
You have
I'll just
Four, I
use I'll
think.
just use that 20 to make them pass.
Hey,
I
wait
believe
till I do
you
it.
have
Wait
four.
till I do it, and then I'll. Sorry, what was
You-
that?
you might pass by yourself.
I just said Sonia has 4 portents, I believe.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. So I roll my intelligence saving throw. I fail.
And then do you give the nat 20, Sonia?
I do.
Sure.
Aw.
You get 24.
What
which
you
is
want?
what-
You want to go insane again? And
No,
then-
I meant
and-
like you could have given me one of the lower, like the 13, and I would still pass.
Would you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah,
With
it's-
17.
Plus 4.
Sure.
You got to give me the crit.
Sure,
Like, not you get nothing from critting this result.
30 in then.
Thank you.
Cool, you get 17 on the dice. Which, well, 13 on the dice, 17 modified. But
Mhm.
yeah, you successfully cast contact other plane. So,
I am attempting to contact the memory god from knowing that he's there. I don't know if this will work or not.
which 5 questions would you like to ask? They can only respond with a 1-word answer of the following phrases: yes, no, maybe, never, irrelevant, or unclear.
Are you good?
Yes.
Would you free Ra from his imprisonment,
No.
even if he said he was really sorry?
Maybe.
He says he's really sorry and would be willing to stop trying to kill gods. Please, would you let him free?
Irrelevant.
Is there anything we could like? No, I have to phrase this correctly. Sorry, just give me a second. Can you send us information on anything we could do to make you more likely to release this person? We need him to save the entire universe.
Unclear.
I think that's all 5.
It is. Your contact other plane ends.
Okay, so he won't release Ra. He says he's a good guy. He says he might release Ra if he apologizes and says he won't try and kill other gods anymore. And then
Well,
it
that
was
sounds
unclear if we could do anything that would like help with that.
Yeah, but that if he's good and he's willing to at least listen to Ra, doesn't that mean that if we go there, if we go to where he is, wherever that is, he may not necessarily just, smite now and ask questions never.
Do you want to try again? See if I can contact him again.
All right, buddy. I got
You're
more
able to do
questions
that.
for you.
Do you invoke the spell again?
Old Gremlinoth be like, oh, holy moly, very busy today.
Yeah, I'll try again. Let's see what happens.
Sure.
I passed.
You passed.
Wow.
All right, your
Nice.
5 questions.
Can we visit you?
Maybe.
Are you lonely?
No.
That's good.
Is there a trick to being able to come to you without forgetting everything?
Yes.
Is it easy to figure out?
No.
It can Colt. What is Colt saying from the outside when Fume is doing this?
I'm asking questions
in-
to thin air, and then you're not hearing the answer.
Colt will hold up the book and just be like, "Ask him if I will die if I read this."
Will
I mean him
Colt
no
die if
harm.
he? Will Colt die if he reads that book about you that he means no harm about, but wants to know what's going on?
Unclear.
Was that 5 again?
Yes, you've hit 5.
Okay. I'm like, so he says he's not lonely, but we could visit him and not die, and there's like a trick to it, but it's not an easy trick, and also he's unclear about whether you would die or not.
As you guys said, you do have resurrections and stuff.
Hey, does anyone else have any other questions we want to get off our chest here?
Fume, roll me a wisdom save. Actually, no. Make me a history check instead.
Okay.
That's good enough. You get to keep your memories for now.
Sick. But I've said this out loud to everyone,
Oh yeah, no.
and I will write
they-
this down.
They will remember your words, but the words the god himself spoke to you are like very like in your mind you feel that they are very hard to like remember and keep clear in your head.
Sure. The words that God spoke to me are trying to be erased from my head. Sonia, Fireball, you're the smart ones. You got any more questions we should be asking?
I'm trying to think of something. I can't even think of a joke question.
Um,
It's maybe, are you willing to help us?
Hmm.
Because like if he says no to that, then that's very telling.
Should I add, are you willing to help us save the universe?
Yeah. More specific.
Sounded like you might have something, Fireball.
You could tell him if he's not willing to help us save the universe, is there a way in which we could try and recompense him for helping us save the universe in return for saving the universe? Essentially, is there something we could pay him with to help save the universe?
The issue is that he can only really give us yes or no answers.
People like money, right?
I don't know
No,
if gods like money, although churches do take a lot of money.
Yeah, I think that's the churches, though.
Yeah, but they
Var's
tell you
never
it's
been
going to
bothered.
God, right?
Yeah, but Var's never been bothered. I'm gonna try.
Also, me and Lawrence turn
two
like a
things.
5-second delay again.
Oh, okay,
right.
sorry.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I'm gonna do two things. First thing,
Get over here. Bop.
Hey, bud.
Joe.
He's something.
There he is.
What? Yes?
Okay, so Fume's got the ability to talk to other gods without, going into their domain. We've been talking to the memory guy. He says he might be willing to just let you out. On the condition that you apologize for your actions, whatever they were. We don't know what they were at the time of your imprisonment, and by the sounds of it, Fume, he just gave a maybe, didn't he?
Yeah. He said maybe.
So we might be able to try for peace, is the point. You down for that, Ra?
Ra will just say, yeah, I'm down for any solution that like gets me not stuck in here.
Also, the other sun god. I understand that.
Ideally, it will be a peaceful one.
Also, the other sun god. I understand that there's obviously a competition for what's it called? Domains.
Portfolios.
Crap. Portfolios. That's it. Yeah. You don't. That doesn't have to be lethal, does it? Can you not just have a competition of some kind to decide who's more suitable?
Yeah, well, one of us will probably have to step down in the end, but like, yeah, it might. It depends more about on him. I don't think I would ever go that far, as in like murdering. Also, the big axolotl doesn't really like it when gods murder each other and stuff.
So we should be able to try for peace then.
Hopefully. I think the main problem is that the god of steals is the person who actually has to release me. The god of memory is just sort of
Wait.
protecting him.
So we've been
Wait,
chasing the
wait.
wrong person.
Well, no, the god of memory is how you get to the god of seals, because the god of memory has a deal with him that protects himself from being known about, so that he can maintain the seals on all the gods.
Kissed
So
by
we still
a
ha-
rose on the grave.
So we still have to go and have a talk to him then.
Probably, yeah.
Wait. Did you say great a lot?
Yeah, the great axolotl.
No, that's hilarious. That's kind of funny. Fireball says.
Why? What's funny about it?
But it's just completely different from where I'm from. It's the great porpoise where I'm from.
The great tortoise?
Porpoise.
Porpoise?
What's a porpoise?
What's an axolotl?
I don't actually know.
An axolotl is like
Exactly.
an axolotl is like a little aquatic lizard. It has gills on the outside of its neck.
Wait, things live in water?
Yeah, loads of things live in water.
Lots of things do.
How could you survive in
Mostly-
water? What sort of monsters
mostly-
live in water?
They're
Like
adapted
fish.
for it the same way that you are.
They breathe water.
I'm not adapted for water.
No, you're
That is
adapted
a
for
terrible
fire.
slander, sir.
You are adapted for fire. You're adapted for the plane of fire. Or
People
the
live-
abyss. Or things
and-
like that.
Things living in water. What is this joke?
They're not
Yeah,
people,
the-
they're not people. Well, they probably are actually, there's merfolk.
Yeah,
And
there's like
tritons.
tritons and
Yeah.
merfolk and water elementals. They all live in water.
No,
That's
water
a
elementals
funny
are
joke.
water. They don't live in water.
Well, that's true. Water elementals are water, but like fish and stuff and aquatic humanoids and stuff will live in water. A lot of dragons like to live in water.
Fume is looking at them like they've grown multiple heads. Fume does not believe
Yeah.
in water and like things living in water.
We'll have to take you to an aquarium sometime.
That sounds like a nice day out, not gonna lie.
Ah, yeah, aquarium.
No, I'll stay away from the aquarium if it's all the same to you.
Yeah, it seems like a bit of a creepy thing to take to like hold a bunch of water with nothing in it.
I mean, it has
no,
fish and
it's
stuff
me-
in it.
Sometimes they've
It's
got
really
monkeys.
nice. Get this. It's really nice. Get this, they've got these tunnels that go like under the water, but you're like in the open air because they're like sealed off, and you can see
Yeah,
like all the things living in the
it's not a
water
place
from
where you
inside.
get wet.
Fume is
It's a
backing
place
away
where
from you.
God, you use
No, no,
something
it's
as
really nice.
fragile-
Fun.
You use something as fragile as glass to keep tons of water behind.
glass
it's
can be
very-
very thick and durable and stuff. You can have bulletproof glass.
Thin and breakable and shatterable glass.
I mean, anything
really
can be
thick and strong.
broken, but it's tested so it's strong and can hold back that much water.
I'm staying away from the place that is literally putting me in tunnels surrounded by the thing that will actually literally kill me.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not. No, 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 no. No, not going there.
Fair enough.
There, we all have
So-
our phobias. But
so
speaking
what-
of things that are thick and strong, you mentioned that you asked the question that I may not die if I look in this, and he knows I'm looking, and he knows I mean no harm. So
Sits down, opens the book, starts reading.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
Give me a good old wisdom saving throw.
Alright, well, Diamond Soul. There we go.
Cool.
Diamond Soul for the win.
The book presents you with a familiar feeling warning. If you read on, bad times will occur. Possibly.
oh yeah, that's what I forgot to say. If anything bad happened, I was just gonna power through. Oh well, powering through. Yeet.
Okay. You enter this sort of mental space where you begin to see a little librarian.
Excuse me.
Uh-huh.
You.
You see them seem to notice you, and they wonder who you are.
What am I looking at specifically? Because I'm just envisioning some bespectacled lady or something.
He's like a man, relatively young. You'd guess in his early 20s.
Fair, then Colt will approach him like the proper dude bro that he is, and just be like,
Hello there. Name's Colt.
holds out a hand for a shake.
They sort of stumble over their books a bit and awkwardly shake your hand. They introduce themselves as
Hi,
You're not there. I just need to find his name. Where's his goddamn name?
It's gonna be Jeff or something, isn't it?
Just pick a
Hello, my name is Jeff.
the
There are
letter
those
G
who
and
call
any
me-
word.
There were those who called me Tim.
Oh no, where is it? Where did I put it? I knew I put it somewhere. Ah, I know where. I remember. Yeah, the little librarian man shakes your hand and introduces himself as Greminath.
Colt's gonna poker face that.
He's just
So,
gonna be like, are you looking for any books today, or?
I got here from looking in a book. Granted, it did say dangerous things were going to happen, but I told the person that it was about that I was looking, and they said no harm, that I probably wouldn't be harmed. I'm just looking for information, that's all. See, some friends of mine are trying to go and talk to them, and we don't want to, we just want to talk, we just don't want to be harmed, that's all. So I'm
So
looking
you're
for
looking-
information how to do that.
So you're looking for books on diplomacy or social communication or magic? Are you looking for a magic book to help you
More,
talk to people far away?
more about gods and their domains. 'Cause that's the
I
kind
guess
of guy that we're trying to talk to.
I guess I can go There's like a religious section over there if you want to take a look at that.
Yeah, do you mind helping me out and putting me in the right direction? I'm not
Oh
exactly the
yeah, sure.
He gestures at all of himself, and he's just like,
pretty obvious I'm not the bookish type.
Oh, you'll have to forgive me.
But
I'm blind. I can't see.
Oh, okay. How do you
Wow.
how do you, how do you do your work then?
Oh, I sort of feel the books.
Okay, but
He
does not
opens
get.
like,
he
the
opens a
place is
book
empty,
and
I assume.
it is currently empty. It's just the two of you. He opens the book and it's got braille.
Well, okay, I'll have a look, but you need anyone to talk
Wait.
to, then.
But
I'm
yeah,
here.
I'll take you straight to the religious section if you want.
Yeah, please.
He walks through this space with total confidence. It seems he knows like where everything is in here. He even like stops for a moment and takes the time to like adjust a book on a shelf and sort of pushes it back into place. Which is crazy. Like you barely noticed
Yeah.
that book.
Yeah. Like, Court's looking at that like,
How though? Hang on a minute.
He's like, yeah.
Do you have like an ability like what I have, where you can just kind of like perceive what's right next to you, but you can't necessarily see? I'm just curious.
Oh, no. I just remember this library like the back of my hand.
Yeah, fair. Muscle memory and all that.
But you can't
Well,
see the back
actually-
of your hand.
I don't know anything about the back of my hand other than how it feels, but
Yeah, but you can do
Actually,
everything by feel.
I
I've seen
remember
people
its
do that before.
smell and its sort of texture.
I find that very admirable. I've seen people in your condition, or should I say more sort of like situation, where they still make mighty warriors. They can still fight off multiple enemies at once, despite the fact not being able to see that they're there. It's very
Oh, that
impressive.
doesn't sound like the life for me. I hardly ever leave the library.
Yeah, but it's
but
a
I
similar
do-
sort of skill set. It's being able to perceive your surroundings and memorize everything, and sense things through sound and smell and stuff.
That's fair enough. The villagers do say I've got a pretty good memory. I hope to
yeah.
one day learn all the information in the world.
Nice.
He then leads you to the religious section of the library.
so is there nothing in here about like the memory god and his domain and how to like? Is there anything that mentions anything like that? Like, Colt will like use his climbing ability to like get up on like the shelves if they're tall enough.
You would immediately spy a book that is titled like The Origins of Gremanath.
That looks like what I'm looking for.
Touch. Is the
You
guy blonde?
as you grab the book, you're suddenly in a brand new place. You once again see Gremanath. He's like 27 now, or late 20s-ish, you would guess.
Mm.
He's still like sort of maintaining the library, but you see him like talking to someone.
Mm.
It seems to be like a group of his friends have come to visit him. And you like overhearing their conversation. It doesn't seem like they've noticed you yet.
Mm.
But overhearing their conversation, you hear them try and convince him to like leave the library and come out with them on like a little trip. They're celebrating his like birthday, it seems. They look like a reasonable. Sorry, they look like a reasonably strong adventuring party, you would guess.
All right. Any of them got like any like distinguishing features that Colt might find familiar, or are they just like total strangers?
Roll history with disadvantage.
Oh goddamn.
Because this is
Uh,
these people would be recognizable if Colt knew more about like other people who like go around in space and stuff.
which Colt is not. He
Yeah, which
went into
like Colt's like been on the internet a few times, but still doesn't really understand how it works and stuff.
you know, it's bug
No,
all is what he does.
you don't recognize like any of these people, but they do have some distinct features. Like one of them has a scar over their left eye. Another one has like long hair that changes color every 3 or 4 minutes.
Colt had let them finish their Colt being who he is, he'd let them finish their conversation and only speak to Gramenath when like they're gone. Is the book still in his hand, or is he just gone and like is he grabbed it and it's just gone?
It's like you've appeared in the same you've like the way it worked from Colt's perspective is everything faded to white and then you faded back into this situation. You were standing in the same spot, but you
No,
weren't holding the book.
no book in hand.
Yeah.
Right.
You watch them convince Gramenath to like leave the library, and you overhear them agree to leave in 3 days' time.
Okay. But he's like staying and they are like potting.
Yeah, it seems like they're going back to like the. One of them's going to their house, another one's going to stay in like a tree.
Hmm.
The other two are like heading to the tavern just to like sit.
When old Graham is on his own, Colt would approach with just a "Excuse me, hi," and he'd more
Oh,
or
you
less.
again.
Oh, you remember me?
Of course I remember you. I have an excellent memory. I never forget a voice.
So you remember what I went for?
Yeah, you came for like, I mean, you must have picked up a book on religion or something. I didn't really stay to watch what you did. You must have left. You didn't say goodbye or anything, but that's not unusual. Lots of people just come and go.
Who were your friends? They looked great. They looked like mighty adventurer types. Maybe much like myself.
Oh yeah, they've got like their own spaceship and stuff. They're always on the hunt for like cool magic things, and they ride around the galaxy a lot.
They got name. What are they called? I adventure around space myself. I might have met them at some point.
Oh, they're like the Snowdrifters. It's because on one of their earlier adventures, uh, uh, an avalanche happened on top of them, and they're famous for surviving it.
I was gonna say it looks like they tanked it pretty well.
Yeah,
Just noting all of this
that
stuff
is
down.
why they're world renowned. This they drop by every now and then to like check on me and stuff because we're like friends. We went to the same sort of like high school together, and they drop by every now and then just to check up on me and stuff. It's very nice of them.
Yeah.
They regale me with their stories and things.
Yeah, like I said like I asked last time that I came here, if you were alone or not, but you seem to at least get plenty of visitors. I was wondering if
Oh
you'd be
yeah,
alright
loads
to
of
show,
people come by.
I was wondering if you'd be alright to show me the similar section again.
Oh yeah, sure. He like guides you back there. And then you see a book just along from the origins of Gramenath that says Fateful Encounter.
Touches that one. Like the new
Okie
one.
dokie. You're suddenly standing in a church. On the dais at the front of the church, there is a portal that seems to swirl and is pulling everybody into it. You watch as the adventuring party with Gramanath looks distraught, and you feel like you sort of are starting to get like pulled into this portal.
So there's just the portal and just the adventuring party looking distraught. There's no like someone who looks like they've conjured it.
No. Although you do notice on the adventuring party they're covered in like battle scars and things like that, and wounds. It looks like a fight has either just finished or is like they've just run from it or whatever.
Colt will say about stab into the ground, and if he stabs it into like a rock, not a rock, but like like a tile or like a piece of stone flooring, that'll like silver that and merge it, and Colt's gonna like hold onto that to not get pulled into the portal.
Sure. You watch as after a couple of moments the portal closes, and you watch as the adventuring party, seemingly incapable of seeing you, like all convene together and begin discussing like, I feel so guilty, we should never have brought him and stuff like that.
Do they mention a name if Colt keeps listening?
They don't specifically mention a name. Although the one with the scar over his eye does say that we should just never talk about this again. We could get in big trouble if anybody finds out. And that's when you notice something cool. Just behind, like on a pew that you're sort of sitting next to or standing near, you see a book. Which is just titled Beyond the Bright Light.
So if Colt like walks past the other adventurers to go to that, do they even look?
Oh, they do not notice you. Do you like try and like get their attention or touch them or anything?
Colt's inquisitiveness and curiosity will probably get the better of him, especially since he looks like an adventurer just like them. He could pull off the whole, "Hey, I was just in the room and then saw all that happening. What the hell? I could have helped," and just would do that in just a, "Hey."
Oh, they super ignore you. Like
So Colt's
they don't
thinking,
they don't
I'm
even
just
acknowledge
saying-
your existence.
Yeah. Colt is like, "I am not here." Goes to the book instead.
Cool, you touch the book.
Yeah,
Colt, make me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh no. Diamond Soul, hard carry me, please. No, not that.
Diamond soul forever.
There's a 26.
That's good. You are bombarded with a deeper understanding of how reality works. Just immediately at your consciousness, this is thrown. And you
Sword as hard as diamond, and he will bear the brunt of all of this new information.
you feel like something in your nature or being has deepened in some way.
But I take it I don't get taken anywhere else.
Uh, you
Or
see,
do
you
is-
do see something eventually. Once, like the initial, once your eyes sort of adjust to how bright it is wherever you are, you see a familiar librarian, a Scribenath. He seems very far away from you, and it looks like he's clutching his head in pain.
Sorry, I'm still just noting things.
Yeah, that's fine. You also notice that he suffers like the only thing you really have to go on is that his beard keeps getting longer and his hair's growing out and stuff. But you can tell that like you are watching this fast forwarded effectively. Time is passing very quickly. And what seems to be for a very long time, it just looks like Gramenath is suffering a lot.
Hey, buddy, what's wrong? What's happened? It's me
Uh,
again. It's me again, the adventurer guy.
as you approach him, it seems like he's in far too much agony to even like you would guess looking at this guy that he does not know what's happening around him at all. Like he is not cognizant of what's going on. He's just in so much pain. And he's grasping at his forehead. Uh Then eventually you would notice another portal open up,
Mm.
which he falls through. And you watch as he is unconscious there for maybe a day or so.
Oh, so I don't have to go chasing him through.
Well, you just see this through the portal.
Right.
Eventually the portal snaps shut, and just behind where it is, there is a book.
Titled.
Awakening.
Yeah, touches that.
You are suddenly in that church you were in before. The roof has been torn off, and the sky is red. In the distance, you can see various gods battling in what looks like one of the most brutal conflicts you have ever seen. You can hear the screams of the innocent nearby and in the background, as you're almost confident that there's like lots of battles going on nearby. And you can hear bombs and explosions going off in the distance.
If Court flies up, like, way out of where the ceiling of the church is, would he see, like, Ra's full form or Gremanath's full form, as opposed to the Avatar forms, fighting in the distance, or anything like that? Or would he see anything familiar, I should say, in the battle?
You realize that the area you're in is, like, you're not on a planet of some kind. You're in you would guess you're in, like, an extra-dimensional place. Like, an outer plane of existence somewhere. And you basically watch, like, what seems to be a much more powerful version of Ra, standing side by side a series of other gods, mostly from the Egyptian pantheon, currently engaged in brutal conflict with various other pantheons of deity. Like, a lot of gods of the sun are currently killing each other, a series of gods of death are fighting. Each one
So, I'll
trying
take it
to
as-
stand dominant in their own domain.
So this is a domain that they're trying to get, or trying to gain dominion over.
Roll me Arcana for some extra planar knowledge.
Oh, you love Arcana rolls.
Yeah, because he's a wizard.
He's definitely a wizard.
He's a idiot, is what he is.
That's an Arcana not roll.
You're definitely in a.
True.
Colt knows he's somewhere. He's definitely somewhere, and it's not normal.
Well, Claude's gonna try and either keep an eye on where Raw is and what he's doing, but also gonna look for the image that was on the front of the book, because there was the image of what Gremnath is supposed to look like. Or he's gonna look for the old man / young man.
You actually see, now that you're quite high up in the air, it seems Gremnath has finally come to, and he stumbles out of the church that he's in, and you watch as his face falls to distress as he observes the chaos of battle around him.
Yeah, flies down to go next to him.
He looks over at you.
What's happening here? Do you know? This is terrible.
He just goes, oh, he just looks really distressed. He's like, oh God, why have they done this? And why is this the first sight I am graced with? I finally can see again. Why?
Please, I really need to know why. What's all this for? Do you know?
He has no clue what's going on. He's just generally looking shocked at the battle that's unfolding before him. Then you notice, as the fighting rages on, a sort of hole opens up in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And out of it descend chains that begin wrapping around several gods as they sort of fall in battle. They don't wrap around the gods themselves. As they begin approaching the gods, they wrap around a sort of sphere that appears around the gods that the chains wrap around. And once they finish wrapping around the sphere, the chains drag them into this dark abyss.
Just throughout all of that, with the fighting and the battling and stuff, Colt, even though with knowing what he knows about our present time, would still make the effort to be the Gremnath next to him is still an old man, and would put one shoulder in front to be the guy who is between him and all of the fighting going on. Even though he's that's a bunch of gods. Don't know how long I'm gonna last in that, but he's still gonna be I will be the one to bear the brunt of any kind of Drea blast or carnage first. Then the chains descend down, and Court's just
I take it that's the god of seals? Question mark?
Gremnath still just looks really confused. Is I guess. Also, are you are you not here? You're not here, right?
To be completely honest, I'm not good with magic. I'm not good with divine stuff. I'm just a guy who's doing his best. I don't know if I'm 100% genuinely here or not. But I'll be damned if I see anyone who cannot defend himself come to harm. So, yeah. I don't know if I will be harmed here or not. if I get too if I get too involved, I don't know what'll happen. But you seemed like you needed, you seemed like you were in distress. But to answer your
Colt.
question, I can't say for sure.
Colt, roll me perception.
Yep. Bap. Nice.
Eventually, the void in the sky, once the fighting has sort of settled down, and like pulled a series of gods into it, seals itself up.
Mm-hmm.
And just as everything seems calm, you suddenly you notice a large sphere appears. It seems like very brilliant and bright. It appears in the very center of this like domain.
Right.
You then see large ships appear out of it. And they
Okay.
start engaging some of the remaining gods here in combat.
Okay, so that wasn't related to the chains descending down and wrapping around the other gods, or encasing them in a sphere. This is a different sphere that is more like a mothership type job.
Yeah, you'd guess this is like a way for a fleet to enter somewhere, rather than like whatever the chains were.
It's like a void ship.
Colt wouldn't know that.
It is a bit, but yeah. You watch as they engage their gods in certain ways, and you watch as like once like a series of the ships have incapacitated a god, you note by like blowing them to pieces and striking them so that they bleed everywhere.
I'm sorry, what was that last bit?
They
They're
strike.
striking with what?
They strike the gods, and the gods begin to bleed everywhere. You notice actually that this creates a certain amount of new life on the ground, like plant life begins to spring up on the ground where the gods bleed. Or entire species are created. As you observe these ships sort of like take these injured or dying gods into their ships by just landing and scooping them up with tractor beams and the like. Or you watch some of them get teleported away, you'd guess inside the ships.
Sorry if I'm quiet, I'm noting this down, it seems important.
Well, at least someone's
Fair
making
enough.
notes.
Colt's just with his notebook out like, yes.
No,
Very
I'm just
good.
Court's got good wisdom. I'm just saying he's got better memory than I do.
Fair enough. The gods
At
manage.
the same time, I could just watch the VOD.
The gods generally manage to drive them off, but
Right.
you notice like 60 or 70% of the gods who survived the initial battle did get taken.
Mm-hmm.
And then amongst the rubble nearby, you see another book. It's titled Revelation.
To the elderly Graham, just be like,
It appears that the fighting is over. Are you still able to see, or are you all right?
It looks like he's in shock, but like he seems okay.
yeah. Again, Colt's thinking, one, it doesn't matter if he remembers me or not. He's still just going to be the virtuous guy he always has been, and just make sure that Graham is like the elderly mortal Graham has found, or like he thinks they're mortal, has got somewhere like
maybe in like the remains of the church where they can like sit down and like get their bearings and not be in the middle of a battlefield before he goes and just make sure that he's all right. It's just like, you're all right, yeah, you're breathing in and out, you're getting calm, yeah.
He's breathing in and out, but he's like he just seems very focused on what is happening around him. And he's like, "Yeah, I'll get to safety," as he's just staring off into the distance at all the things that are happening.
I don't blame you for being in shock, but it's something I need to check. I'll probably see you again. And goes to the book.
Sure. You now watch as Gremanath is strapped to a table, and strange instruments are prodding and poking at him.
Plot twist, it's a mare. God damn. Sorry.
Now, goddamn, that would be a fucking twist.
Everything's in
but-
there.
It's
Sorry,
it-
I couldn't resist. Right. So someone's got
Uh,
a hold of him.
and you're actually standing next to two sort of humanoid things. You've never seen any of them before. They're like a new species to you.
Oh, so they're not constructs.
They're not constructs, no. They seem biological. Although they don't really seem to be communicating.
Mm-hmm.
They're just sort of like piloting these strange devices that they're prodding, poking, stabbing Gremanath with.
If Colt moves around the room, I take it that they don't notice he's there, or is there no like readouts or anything indicating what they might be like looking at or for? Does Gremanath look like he's in pain?
A bit. It doesn't look like he's suffering horribly, but he looks like he's in a bit of pain. You do find a door, and there are some readouts, but you can't really read what's on the screen.
Yeah, Tongue of the Sun and Moon only does speech.
Although
Can't-
the
What can I read
numbers
right?
look very big.
5,700 HP. What the hell does HP mean?
But that's a big number, whatever it means.
Whatever it is, big.
Whatever it
It's
is, there's
big.
a lot of them.
There's a lot of it. But yeah, you do see a door.
It's just got PL 9003, and it's like it's over 9,000, whatever that is.
Whatever that. Could be anything. But it's big, much.
Big much. Many.
So that's literally all I get. I'm just gonna double check my class stuff just to be sure that I can't read like anything.
There is
that
a
I
door.
can't read.
Can I read? Yes? Question mark. There. No, it's just for speech. If I can't read it, I can't read it. Door. Check door.
You go through a door, and you watch. You find a very long corridor, all with the exact same type of door you just came out of, and two doors at the end that look distinctly different. And there are some signs in a language you don't understand.
Damn it.
Do you go into another room?
You said there's two next to each other.
There's two that are on each end of the corridor that look different.
Different how?
I mean, there's also a small window in them. You can see they lead into like another corridor. Both of them lead into a different corridor. But all of the you've roll history.
Okay, I was gonna roll a dice and do the whole let the dice decide which way Colt decides to go, but yeah, roll history, and that's dog shit.
You're in this place.
And it is in fact a place that may or may not have existed prior to this
Right,
point.
he goes left.
Leftward you go. You open the door.
Door.
You enter another corridor that has sort of the same doors on each end and another door at the far end. Also,
Do
the
the
walls
ones-
have like red stripes on them here.
Yeah. Do the doors on the side have windows, or if I go into them, is it like a similar sort of room?
If you go into one of them, they don't have windows, but you can go in. As
Mm.
you enter one of them, also you enter them by like just phasing through them.
Yeah.
You watch as a sort of silvery molten type person. It looks like they're made of silvery metal. It gets like forged and hammered into shape effectively.
Well,
With-
that's messed up.
Some really weird tools.
What the hell is this place?
If you stay there for a moment, you watch as they start to take a familiar shape.
Mm-hmm.
As almost in like it seems like they perform surgery for a while, and then all of a sudden they like snap into the correct shape. You watch as they are reduced to nothing more than a silvery sword, and the room begins to fill with of
Looks
silver.
looks down at his own.
Oh, it's identical. The room is also, like, you would guess very cold, although you can't feel it. You only notice this because, like, frost starts forming on, like, glass in the room, and the room starts to fill with, like, silvery rose vines and, like, rose petals everywhere.
Yeah, looks familiar. Backs the frig out, goes to. Did you say that there was two rooms on
and-
each side?
And the monitors here look very green and positive, and the big numbers look good.
Big numbers, good.
These
This,
numbers
the-
are like 3 times as big as the numbers in Gremanath's room, so that must be good, right?
Looks down at the sword on his hip and looks back at the numbers and goes, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah.
But seriously though, that was really fucked up. Also, I suppose it would need to be sentient to like, because I was told that the sword.
Like, this is his internal monologue. He's not just talking to himself. But he's just thinking,
I was told that the sword does choose who wields it. It would need to have some level of intelligence.
so holds at the sword.
You speak, even if it's by telepathy. Yeah, no. Any of this look
Yeah.
familiar?
You get like a feeling from the sword that's one of like nostalgia mixed with a little bit of dread.
He feels the dread and is like,
It's okay. We're gonna leave. If that's bothering you.
Do you go into another room?
yeah. Like I said before, did you say that when I go into the corridor there's two rooms? Or is it the room and then the
Oh.
door at the other end?
There are like about 24 what you would guess are like operating rooms on each side of each corridor that you've entered.
Uh-huh.
And when you look down through the doors that go to the next corridor and so on, you can't make out the end of these corridors.
Right. I'm just gonna try a thing real quick because it might be funny. Please roll high. Ah, shit.
You're certainly in a place and stuff's happening.
No, Colt was gonna take out his phone and see if he could work the camera. Take
Oh.
a photo.
Uh,
But he's like trying to send a text to Sonia and it says no signal.
but yeah,
Fuck do you mean no signal? It's a space phone.
lol.
It texts
yeah.
to other planes of existence.
Do you check out other rooms?
Yes. Yes.
You see one where there's just this raging black fire, and you hear them converse like, I don't think we can really forge it into a shape. We should probably just like extract its consciousness. It's probably the best plan. And then you watch as they hit it with some sort of thing. It seems to be a laser of some kind. And a crystal begins to form in the center of this black fire, drops to the ground, and then the fire sort of like, it seems to calm down in quotation marks. And then they just extract the crystal and put it into a little jar, and they're like, yes, excellent.
Yeah, the black flame looks familiar. He's like, kicked your ass. Sees any of the others? Are any of them ones that he hasn't seen before?
Oh yeah, there's tons. You see a bunch of like, you see one god that is like, it looks like he's made of string, and they effectively turn him into a spool of just thread. They seem pretty pleased with that.
Right.
You walk into another room that it seems to be someone who looks like a human woman. All around her there's lots of like vegetables and fruits that keep growing. She gets turned into like, it's like a little jewel that you can see a large number of a large amount of farmland inside of, and they seem pretty happy with that. You go through and you find, like, in every room there seems to be some divine entity that's in the process of being like turned into stuff. Although, like, you do come across the occasional room where like it's not really taking, like the god doesn't really seem to be fitting fitting into this sort of form as much. And then
Oh, that's grim.
yeah. You feel like Gremanath is more one of those. Like, they're really trying, but it's not really working.
Yeah.
Until you come...
Since Colt hasn't gone too far, would he be able to trace back to where Gremanath was?
roll survival.
Yeah, I'm not terrible at that. Would I stop closing his bloody sheet every time I get asked to roll something?
No,
There.
close it faster.
Ding. That's not awful.
You eventually... actually, you would also walk past someone that's carrying some sort of, like, white liquid as well. Which is also something of note. But yeah, other than that, you eventually get back, you find your way back to Gremanath. And it seems, after they've been after they've tortured him for a while, they sort of relent. And you watch as they take him through the corridors and sort of put him in like a cell to hold him for a while. At which point, some chains begin to appear in the cell, and Gremanath gets yanked through. At which point, Colt, could you roll me wisdom?
Wisdom save or just straight wisdom?
Wisdom save. And then also give me one history check.
Wisdom save. I'll diamond soul that just in case that's not good enough. That's a 24. And then a history. It's an 18.
Okay. You snap back to reality. Everyone just saw Colt, like, read through the book normally.
Oh, there goes gravity.
My brain went there as well.
Colt, you feel very disorientated, and like
Uh,
the information that you've gotten out of this book is rapidly trying to leave your brain.
Write it down real quick.
Yeah, it goes to start writing, but it's also like, Sonia, modify memory, like copy it or something, quick. Scribble.
Hit Control C,
Start
Control
scribbling
V
down all the
real fast.
notes. Yeah, Control C, Control V, real fast. Memory stuff, go.
Yeah, just you. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. Just use that spell that
En-
pulls memories out.
Encode
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
Good thought.
It's like, oh no, I've took all his thoughts. We need to put some of them back.
Oh no, I took all this stuff. Nah. He's just on the floor.
Oh, weird, nothing changed.
Oh god damn it, that's mean.
Oh, that's
Okay, so does he get down all of the stuff that I've scribbled at least?
Roll
Or
me.
would Sonia's encode thoughts help?
Roll me a sleight of hand check for writing the stuff down.
Slightly hand.
He needs a dexterous boy.
Wait a
but he's not
minute.
proficient.
I've still got that 20.
Do you give him the 20?
Yes.
Alright.
Because
You
this is
guys,
probably important.
with great
Yeah.
proficiency, you write everything down. Sonia, you successfully, once he's finished writing everything down, you successfully extract his memories, but when you look at them, like,
I'm guessing it
Encode
starts
thoughts is like-
fading away.
you pull out like a sort of white thread that represents his memories, like a film reel. It just gets shorter and shorter and shorter until when you look back at it, it's literally opens the book, closes the book. What happened?
So
but
there's
the
Colt with a big pile of like notes in front of him, and he's like, "Okay, now I'm gonna try and read the book now." No, you've already done it. What?
But the notes seem
look-
fine. The notes seem like they're not like disappearing.
Excellent. Right, so. Oh, like, because Colt has ashen skin anyway, and he looks a lot paler than he usually does right now. And he never looks like that. But he's just like, and he's in a cold sweat, and he's just like, okay, where do I start?
All right, now give us the cliff notes. What happened?
Memory God started out just like us, pretty much.
Colt's like trying to remember. He's like, I don't actually know. Check
He's
notes.
look-
Oh, there we go.
He's looking at
Yeah.
the
So
notes.
the
He's-
idea of what I'm getting Sonia to do here is I'm getting him to explain to us his notes, because then
Yeah.
he's technically explaining to himself at the same time.
Yeah. I'll just actually bring it up because I went away to like look at
Yeah.
the actual dice rolls. So yeah, our memory god friend Gremanath, he started out just like us, like, well, I say like us a long time ago, back when we like, or at least I was just a regular arse guy. You even had friends who were an adventuring party, who dealt with like normal stuff like landslides and monsters and stuff. But things got out of hand. They got involved with gods in a similar manner to what we are. I found myself in there's a note here that just says I found myself in some sort of. It's kind of like your maze, Sonia, like its own little world.
Yeah.
But there was a church there, and a lot of gods, including Ra, were all warring over it. Chains descended down from the sky trying to bind them, and there was spelljammers coming through somehow. Large round ships I have written here that could go into these spaces, and whatever weapons they had were able to harm the gods a lot, like way more than what we were able to do to that Orwell person.
Yeah, that's so far sounds a lot like what the little hints we've got of there being some sort of big war in the past.
Yeah, but our friend Graham was just a bystander. It's not like he fought in it. I guess he's just one of the only few who can remember it, or he was put in charge of it. going through my notes again. Spelljammers broke through. The weapons could harm gods, whatever they were. We need. I'd like to find out who those were. Then after that, I saw
Okay,
holds at the hold.
just a quick aside. Because of the Nat 20, can Colt have made a sketch of the ships?
Sure.
Yeah, I saw that holds up like the crudely drawn sketch. Well, I say crudely drawn. Dexterous boy, you probably did a good job.
Yeah,
So-
he did a really good job.
So would the ships look different from anything we've generally encountered?
Oh, you've never seen ships like this before.
Even
Actually,
then,
wait. Where is your bat, Sonia? Where's Sen?
Fuck knows which one.
The
smart
one
one.
who's like in a coma because they know everything.
Oh, he's in the kitchen with Discovery.
Okay. Fair enough then. In that case, none of you have ever seen anything like this.
I
Excellent.
mean, we
Actually,
know
wait,
a
uh,
lot of people who know a lot about a lot of spelljammers.
I mean, yeah, this is a good
So-
lead of sorts.
Surely
Sure.
someone would know something.
wait. I think Colt, Fireball. I think all of you actually. All of you can give me a all of you can give me a history check if you want.
I'm going to roll history, but Colt is also going to point at Raw and just say, I saw these attacking you. And I saw you fighting in a war. Do you
Ra-
remember anything?
Ra does not remember this, but he does feel like it does feel familiar to him.
Looks at the scribbling. Ah, PTSD.
L'histoire.
Ah, anxiety. This scribble gave a god anxiety.
Fume vaguely recalls that these ships and the Eye of the Universe having a similar vibe, which
Uh,
is the sort of best that she can
Vibe?
really give.
What?
You feel like they are similar in some way. You can't quite put your finger on why. You just feel they are similar.
Could Colt also put the scribble onto like a scanner in the ship for like Tikio to look at? Because
Sure.
he is a ship. And he's like, is this like anything in like your model database or something?
Oh yeah,
And you didn't do much
got
better.
Tikio got like nothing from the internet on this.
Yeah, he's just like,
Schematics do not exist on any database. Model unknown. Oh, bollocks.
But that's good. That's
Yeah,
one
but-
potential lead of something to look into. So what next? Ships attacking gods, hurt gods.
After the
Gremlinath
fighting
normal guy.
after the fighting calmed down, I was in a facility. Yeah, very clinical, like white walls, but some of them were labelled. Gremlinath was being, I don't know what it was. It was like something that a mayor would do to somebody, you know, of callous experimentation, testing, of some kind.
Mm.
But then I saw not only him but other creatures that demonstrated great power being turned into the artifacts, i.e., pulls up the silver saber. I saw this get forged.
Wait,
And points to Sonya, and not Sonya, points to Fume. I've seen your black fire get created as well.
but I thought.
There's souls inside all of them, not just the black fire. There's souls in all of them.
But I thought that. Actually, I suppose. Like as we knew it, there was the big machine, and that was where all the things came from. So, does that mean that all the things were made, then the big machine was made, before
Well,
the events that eventually led to people tearing it
the-
apart?
The guys that came out of the big ship, who were able to harm the gods with whatever weapons they had, whenever a god fell from them wounds, they actually took them on board. So I'm guessing that the ones being experimented on were the gods, and when they were in that plane, they must have got Gremlinath as well.
I mean,
So they've used gods to forge weapons.
that sort of makes sense, though. If we like boil it down, this is me just like playing with thoughts. If we go down the list, we start with gods. Gods are generally, well, not generally, they just are. They are the essence and are connected to whatever universe or whatever you want to call it that they are created or empowered in. Therefore, if you refined that power down and then I guess combined a bunch, it would make sense that that would be a big thing that could just alter the fabric of that universe, like we've been described that the big machine did. So that could make sense.
I mean, I felt a presence from the sword when I was in. I've got a note there that says I felt a presence from the sword, but I'm feeling nothing now. But I have some ideas on how to maybe look into that.
Resheaths the sword.
Turns
Yeah,
to Ben.
That's definitely something we need to look into more.
Turns to Ben. Ben, you seem to know a fair bit about all the different artifacts, or at least what they do. Do any of these scribbles mean anything to you?
And he shows like the spool of string or wire and the white liquid and the gem that has like fruit and veg growing around it.
Does any of that ring any bells?
Yeah, Ben would like you saw a bunch of artifacts in your like trip, more than I'd like described, but you would see you'd have seen like tons if you'd walked into a bunch of different rooms. Ben would be able to recall like yeah, those are definitely artifacts that like I've heard of. Like I think the government has the spool, and I think the one of the Time Dragon's lieutenants has like the gem that basically can create infinite food.
Would I recognize the liquid?
You drank that.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Yeah,
I'm saying from the description, would I recognize that that's what that was?
Sonia would fully recognize what that was, because at its mention, like a feeling inside of you happens where you feel a bit anxious.
So yeah, I would just pipe up and say, oh yeah, that was the god stuff I drank, the whatever that white stuff was.
Well, that's grim. It's like they blended them or something.
God,
it's really messed up.
I mean, honestly, I've been just trying to not think about what it is. You know,
yeah,
don't think about consequences. Just stay in the moment.
Yeah, but that's probably for the best in this instance. You drank something, you got a divine spark. Count your blessings, I guess. And
going back at the notes.
The last thing in my notes. Oh, that's grim. It just says, not all survived the process. So they were trying to create these, again, gesturing to the silver saber and the black crown. They were trying to create these items with gods that they had captured.
Okay.
And whatever they were doing, it was nasty enough to kill them.
Also, you did see at the very end Gremlinath get taken away by chains. Similar to, like, in the same sort of void as the other people. But, like, it was different. A sphere didn't form around him, and it didn't look like they were taking him away aggressively. It more looked like they were trying to help him escape.
Yeah, the ones that they took away were imprisoned inside some sort of sphere. Graham, they didn't bother. They just chained him up and threw him in a like a confinement chamber or something.
But then, like, things took him out of the cell that the other people put him in. To be clear, like, portal opens up, chains come out of it, pull him away from the prison cell he was locked in.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm still not sure what is meant by these portals I keep mentioning. I don't know what created those.
Well, all
Uh,
of that.
Roll me religion, Colt.
Roll
The
religion.
the talk of like some of them being alive and some not also matches up with what we know, because we know that there was the whole situation with the fires and the thing inside of the fires trying to influence certain people.
Actually, wait,
Yeah.
no. I will let Colt instead roll insight to try and or investigation. I'll let you roll either of those. Rather than specifically religion, because it technically makes more sense. Cool. You're kind of able to put some stuff together. You would guess that immediately afterwards, Gremadath, like, had his first meeting with the God of Seals. That is your guess, based on what you are reading in your
Yeah.
notes.
When
So
I
that's when the
first,
book ends.
I have written here chains dash God of Seals. I must have seen the chains, and that must have been my first thought. But that was the same thing that pulled him into the other room, so that must have been when they met? Question mark.
He has
I
a
mean,
thought.
if that, with these notes communing with Gremanath's boy, it might again be more and more possible to reach some sort of truce on this, because what's been done to them is freaking wrong.
But it's just a quick thought. I wonder if there are any other survivors from that time who actually might still remember what happened. Or if, like, everyone's memories of that time have been suppressed or erased.
I mean, if we find out what these ships are, we might be able to find some of the people who forged, or at least somebody who is either descended from or works for the same people,
Because
or is part of the same entity that, because the entity that did the creating, no kind of species I've ever seen.
yeah, so, like...
For all we know,
If,
they
if
could,
any of you
for
want, you
we-
can roll.
for all we know, they
If
could
any of
be
you want, you
immortal
can
and
roll.
breathe space.
If you want, you can roll investigation for some potential extra things. Just like going through the note.
why would you not?
Yeah, let's smart.
Colt
people
doesn't
who-
understand his own handwriting.
Fuck's sake.
But, like, if you think about it, it would make sense that there is a chance, if whoever these other people were specifically opposing gods, then they might have had something in place that meant that even the memory stuff couldn't affect them. Even if they're, like, hidden away somewhere, there might still be people who know something.
Joe,
Sonia,
what you mentioned. Sorry, but
Patrick,
you know
go
what
on.
you mentioned when you said something about Colt's understanding of how just the universe and reality just functions? Does that have any sort of like noticeable sort of like effect on Colt and a sort of like, oh, I probably wouldn't have noticed that before sort of thing? Or is it just or was it a fleeting thing that is probably something to look into later? Or is that something that he's still feeling?
You still feel that way, but you can't quite place what has changed. Like, it's very strange. You just feel a little bit different, but you can't quite tell why. Nothing mechanically about you has changed as of yet, but you just feel slightly different. Yeah, that's probably the best way I can put it at the minute. But yeah, Sonia, it occurs to you from all of this investigating, you could try and ask the tiny cow, and also you could show your bat that looked at the Eye of the Universe the pictures of the ships. Those are the two things that occur to you from looking at the notes a bit more.
Okay, I will note that down as sooner things to look into.
Whatever we do, do not. Actually, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to
I
keep
mean,
my
it
dumb
does-
ass mouth shut.
it does occur to you that a mayor might know stuff about this, but that just sounds like a dangerous proposition.
I mean, yeah, you're right. That is like, if that occurs, it's like, oh great, then she'll forge me into some sort of like super lightning god weapon or something.
Either like you
Knowing
tell
her.
her about that and bad things happen, or she might already know. In which case, nothing gained, nothing lost. But like if she
Yeah.
doesn't, then really lots of things to lose.
Colt hurriedly folds up all of the notes and tucks them like deep in his gi, like under, like next to where he keeps the iron flask that Lizzie's in.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Like
I'll be back in
he
a
tucks
moment
them in there.
Wait, is Lizzie in an iron flask?
to let you.
Yeah, well, it's
Not
It's
the
a- it's
iron
like a-
flask, but a flask made of
No.
iron.
Okay, cool. 'Cause that is the
Well-
first. That's literally the first thing I've heard in 10 minutes.
yeah, no, the whole iron flask, and that's functionally what Lizzie is in, but it's more like
It's a Pokeball.
Pokeball.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Pokeball. I even have it listed in my inventory as a Pokeball, but functionally it is an iron flask, but it can't be an iron flask because it's containing a creature that has an anti-magic field, so it has to be,
It has to be
technology-based.
mechanical. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be tech based, but yeah, it's that I keep accidentally calling it an iron flask because that's what it's based off, but it's a Pokeball. But if that's the thing that first thing you've heard in the last 10 minutes, we've just gone over the notes of that Colt has quickly scribbled down of everything that we've just been through with me and Joe.
And I missed
So
the
we-
entirety of the thing you did with you and Joe. Because my
Nice.
internet
Okay.
died. I am not going to make you re-explain it.
No,
We can talk
shall I
about it
just
at
give you,
some
like, the-
point. We can talk about it at
Yeah,
some
well-
point off thing, or you can just tell me when it comes up. But because
Oh.
my internet died and I missed the
Yeah.
entirety of that discussion.
Or you could rewatch the live stream.
That is the other thing. I have done that a
rewatch
couple of
it.
times.
I'll just copy and paste the notes I took because I took notes through the whole thing. I'll copy and paste them and send, so you get to see it out of context
Sweet.
because that's not helpful at all.
I mean, I think the most important thing in relation to Fume would be that Colt semi-discovered that artifacts were originally gods or equivalent. Some of them have kept
Wait,
sentience, which explains the
The evil sentience inside my flame and the good
Yes.
sentience inside the other flame.
exactly.
Yeah,
But
It's
apparently,
there
fine.
was
The
a little-
Steves have the evil sentience under wraps.
yeah. So some of
Yeah,
them
there-
apparently
there
survived,
was-
some didn't.
yeah. Some survived, some didn't. There was a little joke that I did while Colt discovered that, as he looked at the black flame spirit and went, "Ha! Kicked your ass."
So my big hypothesis of trying to figure it out was like, so it's like, wait, so God equivalent beings then were made into things, then those things were made into a big thing that could control the universe because God
I'm
energy,
returned.
and then broke
Alright.
apart, and then now it's trying to put back together again.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they were gods that were all stuck together to do a thing, and now they broke apart, and now we're trying to stick all these gods back together.
Yeah, and they
No,
were
all the gods were fighting,
Yeah,
and
and-
then that fight got broken up by an advanced civilization on a large spelljammer and they had weapons that could harm gods, harm them enough that they could actually capture them, and then turned them into items.
Okay.
So the other thing that we're looking at is this sketch that Colt drew of the spelljammer that he saw that was able to smash into the war.
yeah. Thanks to
It's
you,
kind of got.
thanks to you being a good boy, Graham. I had a 20 for probably the most important role yet.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Which was how good does Colt do on remembering and writing this stuff down before his memory vanishes? It's like, that is an important role. Glad I didn't
Colt-
spend that 20 earlier.
Colt is again flicking through the notes, and he's like, "I've got one here that just says fucking phone." The fuck?
I don't know what to tell you for that.
Because Graham, he tried to use his phone as a camera, but you failed the int check, so he couldn't work the camera.
Oh, okay.
Well, who knows if
So he's
that
just
might
got a
have helped or
note
not.
He's just got a. Yeah, it just comes up with fucking data. You now have all of the ransomware. Oh no, what does that mean? Just burn the phone, feed it to Fireball, just burn it.
Sonia, why is my phone trying to ransom clothes back to me? What's happening? When did it take them?
I don't know.
Feed it to
It says
Fireball.
I ha-
Yeah, eat.
It says I have ransomware. What is that? So it must be ransoming clothes, right?
Okay, so
Feed it to Fireball, it's a bad.
so what's the first thing we want to do? Do you want to go and talk to Cow? Because him and Sen are the
I mean,
two
the
things
other
that
one-
are here.
Yeah, they are the ones that are first to hand and won't immediately treat us with suspicion if they know what this is. My first thought was Alan, but he might go, "Oh no, you're pulling a thread you shouldn't pull." So
I mean, yeah, we let's potentially, like, as kind of usual, look into things ourselves, and
yeah.
then if we hit like a big dead end, that's when we can be like reaching out to others.
yeah.
So
TQ was just going to be like, I'm going to be scanning through archives and historical records to see if there's anything that mentions this design. Not so far, though.
So who are you gonna go to first?
moo.
Tiny cow question mark? No.
Moo. All right. Are you going to this room, or do you want the tiny cow to come to you guys?
Oh, we're polite. We can go to him.
Yeah.
As he's just watching all of these like half devil, half demons fight really quickly. And the little cow
Hey guys,
gets up from its little nap and is like, "Oh, you guys are here."
you. Just wondering if you could maybe give us a hand in identifying something, if you know what it is. If you don't, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, show us the doodles, the scribbles. Seen that
Uh,
before?
Oh, I've seen those. They were made
Great,
by lived like not that long ago. Like near the start of this cycle.
Yeah, just not that long ago at the start of the universe.
Yeah, like
just,
near
just a
then.
couple of weeks ago, really.
Yeah,
So like what? Tuesday?
Yeah, I think it
Like
was a
that,
right?
Tuesday.
I'm pretty sure it was Tuesday.
What do you mean the universe started on a Tuesday? Yeah, it started on
Yeah.
a Tuesday.
Bloody
Tues-
would, wouldn't it?
I mean,
What?
Tuesday at 36 minutes past 5.
Why did we make Tuesday the second day of the week?
Don't know.
If
I'm sure
the
that there's
universe
some like
started
ancient
that day?
language reason about it. I'm pretty sure there's some ancient language reason for it. Anyway, what does
cow
Tiny
could-
Cow say about the chip?
The cow tells you, "Oh, if I were to divulge that information, it could destroy the universe."
what couldn't?
But yeah, telling the information to a bumbling mook like me, really? What am I
Uh,
gonna do with it? Punch somebody with it?
Oh, it just could. You don't
Is
want to
it one-
know. Trust
Is
me.
it one of your special words that makes eggs exist?
I mean, it might. Who knows? But yeah, the cow will be like, "Yeah, I recognize those ships. They were cool."
So you can't even name the civilization that built them, or how long ago it was,
Do they still
Well, I know-
exist?
or what you
Oh,
said the
yeah.
start of this cycle. So we got that.
Of course, like there's still like half of one left.
Huh? Half?
Well, like one of them like had a family with like something else. So it's like half that the only one that's left of that whole race is like half that race, half another race. Although I believe the way the like genetics works is they just swap back and forth.
What?
So the race that built those machines died out, but they
Yeah.
intermingled with other races.
Yeah, and there's like one of them with like a sufficiently high proportion of that DNA left. And
So
it
what?
have you ever seen certain kinds of half dragons? When half dragons are initially born, like they're they a humanoid but with more dragony features. But then you can undergo a ritual where you swap between like fully being a human and fully being a dragon. They kind of
Yeah.
do that with their half races. So sometimes they're fully one race, but they can just swap back to fully the other.
Okay, are you allowed to tell us where that person is?
Like a lot of them.
Are you allowed to tell us where any of them are?
I can like sense that. I can do a quick sweep. I haven't tried sensing them in a while though, but I can
That's
try.
fine. Anything can help. Any
I
little
just
bit
got
can help. So
I
what
but
did,
if
if they're
I
like
do
half, if they're like
I
half
do
them, half something else, what do they largely What are they largely known as these days?
not I don't think they really have a name these days. Although if I want to find them, I do have to sing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Let's put a pin in that for now.
But like when I was singing and had like all the knowledge ever, that's what I remember.
Right. So you can find them, but you need to sing to do that.
I'd only need like one word. I won't mess up one word.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
I'm not. I'm saying let's not jump on it right now. We
I,
just want to cover all the bases that can be solved by just asking questions before you go using like songs and spells and things.
the cow will also say like they might not even know that they are the member of that race. To be fair,
They did start at the start of the universe. So you're
so
saying
like
that like the organization that
for example, if they're
piloted
like
them just isn't a thing anymore. It's not even retroactively being turned into something else, like the government, for example.
oh well like Big Axolotl Dad, they tried cutting one of his eyes out.
Rude.
Okay, that sounds
Uh,
on brand from what I know.
so like they managed to like get a chunk of his eye, and then he like unexisted most of them.
Fair. I've just written down a note that says they attacked the axolotl that controls all.
That is accurate.
D&D, man. Controls all, he unexisted them. Or unexisted most of them. Fair. Full stop.
So okay, so I learned that there is a something that exists. That's progress.
That's loosely connected to this.
Yeah.
We might not even recognize this.
I know.
Tiny cow might recognize this more than them, but it's worth chasing if we
Uh,
can.
the t the tiny cow will like tell you. Well, like when they're in that form, they have access. Are you familiar with aboleths?
Mm-hmm.
They are a aberration.
Well, they kind of keep like ancestral memories and stuff, and they also work like that.
Work like what?
Oh, like when they're in the fully other form, they might remember stuff about their past life all of a sudden, or past lives, or their parents' lives, and so on and so forth.
Oh, so you're saying that this race now functions like aboleths. So they might actually just be aboleths.
Maybe? I don't think so. But they have like an ancestral memory thing.
Yeah, bear that in mind. Court's writing down. He's like flipped over the notes and he's scribbling down extras as Tiny Cow's talking.
And the cow's just like, I mean, like they could just be some random like human who doesn't even realize that that they're like that.
Hmm.
I mean, we've always got the take him to Land and get him to sing there.
Yeah, but I can't undo any of his mistakes now.
Tiny cows
Unless we
also
could-
like raw land won't really help because the song affects all things no matter
I
where I
wonder,
am.
Well,
I
fuck
wonder
that
if,
idea then.
I
Like
wonder if Chrono's lab might be able to make something like what pointing at Fireball's translation necklace. I wonder if he could develop something like that that, you know, senses when you're going to make a mistake and silences you or something. Not in
although
a nasty way, but just in a beep, shut up sort
the
of
the
way.
cow the cow does go. Although I guess like doing it somewhere would be like 2% safer. Like 2% safer to do it in another dimension.
So like
But I
a
will.
pocket dimension.
Yeah, like or Ra's realm, you know, like 2% safer because I might create something that only exists in one spot rather than like everywhere. But it's like eh.
A me thought occurs that I
Especially
think if Colt, that I think if I told Colt, he'd be ashamed of me.
what is it?
The pocket prison that he Colt nicked off of me.
All right.
Do it in there, but then Colt would
Shit,
be like, "No, that's meant to be a pocket prison, you monster.
you
We don't
must.
even know where that goes."
Oh,
Oh. Now that my own character has scolded me for being whole, it is a
But yeah,
thought though. It
the
thought. It is
the
a thought
cows
that could.
the cow will just be like, "Hey, could you quickly take me to Discovery's lab?"
Okay, as long as you don't do any singing.
Okay.
Discovery, hello.
Hello, says the dinosaur.
Just has the tiny cow just cupped in his hands in front of him.
Oh, that's
Tiny
adorable.
cow.
You brought me a pet? The tiny cow is very
Uh,
offended by this. It's like, I am not a pet.
You two. Yeah, you two can talk that out amongst yourselves. You're both intelligent beings from the beginning of the universe, I assume both of you are.
I was born like a year ago. I'm one since Discovery.
Oh,
Puts
so when we
tiny-
found you, you were born then. I thought you were teleported from some.
No, I was existed then, yeah. And then like
There,
short
okay. You are less than a year old. This one is as old as the universe. You're on
Oh,
opposite
that
ends of the scale.
it's true. The tiny cow starts playing with things on like in Discovery's lab and it's like, here you go. Eh, eh. And as it drags like a little sort of it kind of looks like a pepper spray can type thing. It's like spray that on the person once you've identified them and they'll turn into their other form.
Okay, that seems to.
Looks like Discovery.
It's a bit of a random thing for you to just have.
Oh no, you watched the cow make that.
Oh, the cow made that. I thought the cow like dragged that out of a cupboard or something. For
Yeah,
a second there.
the cow like pushed a series of like weird chemicals together, like threw some random stuff into some other like machines, lasered the concoction a bit, poured it into a can, and then handed it to you. But with a lot more like being a cow and so struggling to use things because it doesn't have arms.
I mean, Colt would help. He's like,
Do you need me to lift that? Yes.
But yeah,
Okay.
pour that in there, and then put this in that machine and let it spin for a bit. Cool.
I mean, I also Discovery would probably help as well.
Yeah, Discovery would also be helping. Like, touch this glyph. Good. Magic.
Spin around 3 times, touch your nose.
That is the most important step of the plan. Mostly
As
to
somebody who works in a plan, the most important part is that you write it down, which is what I'm doing.
it's
The only
like,
difference between pissing about and science is writing it down.
It's like here's
Otherwise,
your
you're just fucking around.
here's your spray can
Right, I'll add that to inventory.
of find ancient forerunner race type deal.
Yeah. Discovery won't know what this is, being a year old. Have you seen Sen anywhere? Seen the bat? Who, like, just can't even?
Yeah, Sonia left them in here, so Sonia, sorry, Discovery goes like here, opens a compartment in the wall, and like you see a tiny bed that Sen is sleeping in. Discovery has made like a tiny bat house.
Oh,
Well,
adorable.
sleeping in quotation marks. Sen's still like trying to decipher all the information ever, so he's just staring, fully like bloodshot eyed at the ceiling. He's like, yeah.
Don't worry, I'll quickly contact the Sonia that's in his mind and ask how they're getting on sorting it. Connects and just all I hear is,
Yeah.
ah! Yep, they're getting on fine.
Hell,
Yes.
why did you do this?
The other, the other Sonia, I can't give you this. Spray of identify primordial race creature.
The cow's like, that's a catchy name.
Race creature. How the? How's that not correct? And added.
And Discovery's like, why do you want the bat?
Just because it has, like... I think he might have looked at something like this before.
Like shows Discovery anyway, just because Discovery's super smart.
Whereas, like, I think the bat might have seen something like that before and would react, but doesn't look like it.
Discovery looks at it and is like, ooh, that gives me an idea.
Such as?
Ah, I mean, it looks like a pretty standard. And then you just, it goes in one ear for cult and out the other as just technobabble gets spewed at you of like, oh my, this is how like you could make a spaceship that can do this, 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 this. Could even like travel into dimensions and like it would have enough destructive power to like destroy this and that and stuff. Like, but it just all is numbers and it's all wrapped up in like numbers and equations and like different materials you'd have to acquire and things like that. And Colt just gets confused very quickly.
Sounds about on brand.
Like even roll me a Arcana check.
Arcana!
Come on, you roll.
Just roll well.
Just do good. What a boy!
You did really well. You follow like some of it, but it does go into the realms of like, so you use magic to create like more dimensions than exist, right? And then like it
Court
just
is like, yeah. By the end, Court is like, I understood some of them words individually, not necessarily in that order, and then you went into never heard that before.
so like
No-
imagine
Sonia, anything?
you create imaginary space, and then you
Imaginary
use
space.
that.
Yeah.
Even Sonia, give me an Arcana roll.
Oh,
40.
that's not 40. That's 30.
And Sonia, even with a 30, you get lost on some of the much higher end concepts that Discovery's going over. Like,
Good.
even you are getting confused by this.
In which case, can you simplify and summarize and saying what your idea is, as in reverse engineering the machine or figuring out something else? What's your idea? Simple
Cool.
as you can.
Make cool spaceship.
So we reverse engineer it, right?
Yeah.
Off of my little scribbles.
Yeah,
That's
it looks.
impressive.
But send the bat when they look at it, they get up and begin moving like a normal bat would.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
alive.
True. It's alive.
Then
Oh,
begins
the one
to,
with
like,
Juliet.
like blink at his eyes and stuff, like scratch at his little eyes and like blink a lot because they've just been open this whole time. He's like,
Let's bat sort of like get its bearings, and it's like,
So yeah, I can't remember. Does Sen speak or understand languages?
Yes.
Well, he must do by now. He's
You've talked to him
absorbed.
many times.
that's a my fault, not a Colt fault. That's my fault there.
I mean, it can be both.
As far as I go, whatever.
Not to bother you out of your stupor so quickly, Sen, but does this look familiar?
then opens their mouth and they look like they're about to say something, and then you just hear this Halloween.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
This is Halloween. Bumpkin
Halloween.
train in the dead of night.
What do you mean Halloween? That's a holiday.
Halloween. Halloween. Sen looks really panicked and just keeps repeating the word Halloween.
Closes the notes.
It's okay. It's not Halloween.
Wait, what if he's referring to the thing Amaya did with making universes for the movie and shit? Maybe?
She hasn't put us in a freaking simulation again, has she?
Yes and no.
The bat just keeps saying the word Halloween and looks really panicked at why it's saying Halloween. You would guess it is only able to say the words Halloween.
Everybody make a scene.
That's our job, but we're not mean.
In
And it
this
just looks
town of
very-
Point of Sen.
Halloween. 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 Halloween.
In this. Oh, poor Sen.
Sonia, do you want
Could I
to
roll insight?
do you want to try contacting Sonia inside Sen's head?
Sure.
Meanwhile,
ye-
can Colt try to insight why he might be screaming that?
You have no idea, Colt.
Right,
Like,
fair.
You'd guess something has, like, seeing the ship has helped Sen's condition somewhat, but also Sen's broken still bit by it. Sen is broken in a new way,
Yay!
and you don't quite understand how. Also, Sonia, you just hear back in your voice from the other Sonia, Halloween! Halloween!
Uh-huh.
Halloween!
Yeah.
Halloween.
I am the clown with the tearaway face.
Halloween.
I am the thing hiding under your stairs.
Halloween. But yes, they are inflicted with the ability to only say the words
Wait.
Halloween, but they
Are you
can
just-
do normal things again, kind of.
Minimal progress.
Devastate every-
Mm,
But Sen does look like Sen vaguely recognizes what's happening there.
take you out the word Halloween to your search stuff.
There's a
When you're looking
party
for this
next
thing.
week. We could go to it.
厘米啊，非常厘米啊，
what?
非
There's like a
常
Halloween party next week.
Where?
Uh,
Is it?
I don't know. It's on Spacebook. That's the first result.
Why did you go to Spacebook to search first?
It was just the top result, man.
Spacepedia. Spacepedia.
Apparently, there's like a famous DJ that's hosting it.
It's the fucking level 20 plus bard.
they couldn't celebrate on actual Halloween, so they're celebrating later. And a bunch of people are trying to go and hang out with them.
We'll keep searching, buddy.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe have a talk with Chrono. 1, time wizard boy. He might know. 2, you might have some technical form.
Do you call Chrono then?
Yeah, can do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he
Chrono
just went, just use your phone.
Chrono answers his phone. He's like, okay, so I have 2 theories that I'm vaguely working towards killing this time dragon.
Cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
1, we go outside of time and beat him up outside of time. That way he won't be able to manipulate time to kill us. Only flaw in that plan is there'll be no time, so we won't be able to do anything unless we somehow circumnavigate that. So, like, I think gods might be able to pull it off if they spend some divine essence. So that's my current theory. The other way we might be able to do it is if we just stop all of time and fight him while time is completely stopped for everyone except us.
The first one sounds easier.
Yes,
Is it?
it is.
The first
Neither
one,
sound
the first one
easy.
sounds like. I didn't say either one sounded easy. I said one sounds easier than the other. Something can weigh 200 kilos, the other one weighs 190 kilos. They're both still bloody hard to lift, but one's easier than the other.
Which one's a feather?
Neither.
Both are made of lots of feathers, but still weigh the same.
Yeah, what falls faster, a ton of feathers or a ton of bricks? They both weigh a ton.
Yeah, but yeah, so he's presented you with his 2 working theories that he's like starting from there and he's working on ideas of how to achieve them.
Excellent, excellent. But I did kind of call you for your thoughts on something else, to be honest.
Oh,
It's
okay.
still related. It's still related to the god stuff. When you said gods
Sure.
might be able to pull it off, we might get some on side if we figure this out.
I
We'll
mean,
see, of course.
some of
just
you
for
are
the-
gods already, right?
Nah, and you have advantage because Sunya's there. Nope.
I've started the joke. Court is just like, okay, I'm sending you a thing. Ikio, can you send this to him?
It sends
You-
in
what-
the scribbles.
Oh, right. Do you send him
Do you
the?
know anything?
Are you sending him the notes on just everything you found in
mean,
the book?
The
Or
notes
just-
and all the scribbles, yeah. And then Court will talk him through the notes because obviously it's out of context. But specifically, he's like, "Does that ship look like anything to you?"
He just goes, nope, don't recognize it even slightly. Although this is interesting history, like it fills in a lot of gaps in a lot of history books.
It's also interesting though how Ra doesn't remember anything about it, even though that he was there. I saw him there, but he doesn't remember it.
I mean, it seems like the memory god must have something to do with why no one can remember this stuff. My guess is you'll have to ask him about it.
And Court's internal monologue is just,
Well, I've read his book. We told him I was going to do that, and I meant no harm. I haven't died yet. Might be okay to go talk to him.
Yeah, maybe.
also in Court's internal monologue.
If he's a memory god, maybe he remembers me being there. Yeah.
Maybe.
Fingers crossed. I think they left a good impression.
But Court's it's just like Sonya can just see Court doing the whole, oh no, he's doing the thinking thing face.
True. Also, that definitely happened a long time ago.
Like at least a couple of weeks.
True. From the cow's perspective, that was 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, the cow was just like, oh, that was just before, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think I had like a short nap and then I woke up and now it's now, right? Like it happened, quick nap, now. That's how it works, right?
Your perception of time is so balked. Okay, brain, shut up. Stop trying to make puns. It's not working. Right. Well, thanks for the update, Chrono. You're more like time shenanigans, so you won't be able to. You won't know anything about the Song of Creation, would you?
What's that? I think
Good
it's like a
point.
bard thing. I think I've heard a bard
Yeah,
brag
but-
about that once to me.
Yeah, but there's like a true version of it, which is way, way, way more powerful. You've definitely seen the eggs. This Song of Creation, it brought them into existence.
That's terrifying.
Indeed. But we've stopped the thing that did it, but it's, largely innocent, so trying to figure out a way on how to utilize its power without, creating more eggs. Or something worse. So it's not singing right now. So we're cool, but it'd be
But really wants
good to
to.
have it on side without. But really wants to, indeed.
Good? Question mark?
That's stepping out of time ideas got me thinking, but we'll come back to that. Trying to figure this out at the moment. In a bit. Click.
All right, I'll get back. No. Click
Yeah, sorry, it was
hang
the
up.
it was the latency. Sorry.
It's fine. It's funny. It's funny that you just randomly hung up on him. Oh, not
Right.
realizing he had more to say. That's kind of funny.
No, damn it. He just sends a text
Uh,
or a voicemail. Right. Who else could we ask about this? That is one on side and two on the ship.
I mean, I don't want to say this again, but Amaya seems to be messing with universes, creating stuff, might actually be relevant.
Ben is skeptical to bring Amara aboard onto this.
Well, yeah,
Like,
you physically see Colt just become overcome with anguish. She's like, she has way more than enough knowledge and abilities and shenanigans and stuff as it is, let alone being let in on this. Sonia, you remember what I said, right?
Oh,
The
yeah.
things that they were doing. I thought it was like a mare level, horror. If she gets a hold of it, she's probably going to make it 10 times worse. She's probably going to turn you into a wand or something. And I really don't want that to happen. I don't want any of us to be subject to that same fate. It was horrible.
but Sonya would make a lovely staff. Or a cool
When you were tu-
robe.
when-
It would
when-
really
when you
bring
were
Amara's outfit together.
when you were tuned to this staff, roll a DC 40 Arcana check. If you fail, you get polymorphed into a dog.
Also, every spell cast, but this staff lets you cast any spell, but every time you cast a spell, a wild magic surge will occur on the D10,000 table.
On the D10,000 table.
Ah, you
yes.
mean the dog 10,000 table?
The dog 10,000 table, yeah, of course. That would be Sonya but an artifact.
I would say Colt as an artifact would be like a quarterstaff, which like can only be attuned to by a good creature. Any evil creature that attunes to this has disadvantage on all attack rolls, and it does like 1,000,000 lightning damage. But it's a mare, so she would be like, "Oh no, this staff eats your soul."
Oh, the artifact is reflective of the thing it's made from. So Colt would
Yeah,
likely
it's a mare
become.
though.
Yeah,
It's a mare, though,
true.
so she would
a mare might-
pervert the fuck out of it.
Oh yeah, a man might use it for horrible things. But initially, as an object, it would be something like a staff or some gloves, or you know, it might be something like a grappling hook or something. But a really fucking cool one.
Fireball just becomes I cast gun, the artifact, and it just shoots his like death laser
Low.
at like max power, but you can do it like proficiency bonus times per day for free.
So, are you bringing a mare into the loop on this?
No. At least that's Colt's vote. At least Colt's vote is like, I'd really rather not. If if Discovery didn't know what it was, then she probably won't either.
Ben's like, there's a reasonable chance she'll know stuff about it, but then there's a reasonable chance that she'll use it for massive evil.
Exactly. Come on, there must be someone in the universe who's as like knowledgeable as she is about spelljammers and space travel and other like god tier experimental stuff, but isn't fucking irredeemable.
We could ask the government about it. I'm sure they have like a ton of really experienced engineers on hand.
I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
mates.
we could inquire, but not explain the full reason why. Like, just we found information about these, and we're looking into them.
Yeah, we could attempt to withhold critical information.
And if
But
I
then what are we
just-
withholding and what are we telling?
I mean,
If I
we
just-
we
if I
don't
just-
tell them
if-
about the making gods into artifacts, and that we know about all of that.
Yeah,
Fair,
if I just show them
and-
the scribble and just say, hey, either I found this or I got a vision in me head after looking in that book. I looked in a magic book, and then I spat that out. See
Yeah?
if anyone says anything. It's just a scribble. Well, it's just my scribble. I would say, what harm can come from a scribble? But we just said no to giving the scribble to a man because it would end the universe.
It could work.
But I just said no to showing a scribble to a mare because she might use it to implode reality and give herself the power of all gods ever.
There's a chance. There's a chance of that.
And then that's campaign 2 fucked. There's no making your pasty strong enough to deal with that.
Nah, it's fine. You just start the campaign as Son Goku.
You just start the campaign as Colt.
You finish the
In, like-
campaign as like fucking the axolotl.
It's like, right, Axolotl meet a mare, fight. Let them fight.
Go, axolotl, go.
It's like that bit in Dragon Ball where Goku just brings Zeno in and he's just like, yeah, just fucking glass floor this whole reality, just do it.
Get rid of it.
It's doomed. It's doomed.
Okay, he has a thought. Ben. Not
Yes.
to dredge up things, but
Mm-hmm.
you have been quite heavily involved in many nefarious underworld agencies in your time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a good chance that there'd be some sort of black market, that there'd be collectors who would very much have information about stuff like this, if any still exist.
I mean, yeah, I could look into some of my old information brokers and see if they would know anything about lost history and stuff like that.
Like, we
I
can
might also just like.
just
sorry,
like
son, you go.
we can pretend that we're in the market. We've thought, like, ooh, we've heard about these things and they're apparently real powerful, and we want one because it'll make us powerful, so we're willing to spend anything to get it, and things like that.
Sure, I'll send them a message.
It's not the worst idea in terms of things that could, because we can go the good route and inquire with the governments, but also cover the opposite side as well.
Yeah,
in terms
I'll
of inquiring with the governments, I was thinking of just taking a picture of it and sending it to Alan. Just be like, hey, is there anything that you have access to that mentions anything that looks like that?
Yeah, you can
yeah,
do that.
Just be really informal with him about it.
asking Alan about it is not a horrible plan.
And if not, someone like him doesn't get that strong by not knowing people and having a lot of connections. He probably knows somebody who's seen one before or knows something about them.
Colt, as have you gone back to the room with all the people in?
I mean, if we're talking to Ben, then yeah.
Sure, so you're back over there. At which point Amir will walk in and be like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?"
So just gets like a blue screen
Actually,
of
no,
death
Colt-
eyes. I was trying to think of something she'd
Colt-
find boring and just died inside.
I need to get... No,
Amir's
hang on,
just
hang on,
like-
hang on.
Ooh.
Yeah, this.
You just stab her, and her like clothes left. What if her
There was
clothes
already
like
5 of them.
as she's like turning herself, she's like, "Well, damn, this is quite a harsh reaction."
You know what you did. You made a snuff film about you killing us.
A hologram appears next to the statue and is just like, "Man, I'm very sorry about that one film. It's like that's like the tamest shit I've done all day."
Yeah, but that's 100% something that you would do. Which is why I keep
Oh.
killing you, just in case you do it.
True.
Or
But
actually
yeah,
killing your clones. But you don't care about them, do you?
I mean, not really. They're handy though. But yeah, what are you guys up?
Can the saber turn holograms into silver? Passes the blade through the hologram.
It just like
Makes it way
phases through because it does just make it wibble a bit. Because it's just light, and it doesn't turn light into silver. Otherwise, you just turn like everything around you into silver constantly.
Yeah.
Let's swing this
Colt,
sword to see
yeah.
how it feels. Swings. Oh no, you hit the air!
All of a
Yeah.
sudden, you and everything around you, and then all the way back to the sun that's producing the light is just silver, and it's like, oh god, I accidentally silvered an entire solar system. Help!
Anyway, Snick puts the sword back. What do you want?
I just want to know what you guys are talking about. You were all like talking
Just
about
gives up
something, and you're all just silent.
Yeah, yeah, because it was a if I could English, because it was a conversation between us. It's
Yeah,
very
but
much
I'm-
done, very much.
I'm part of the team. I'm part of the friends.
You've literally killed me how many times have you killed me now? 4 times.
What's a couple deaths between friends? How many times have you killed me? See, I'm not the bad guy.
I killed I've put you mass manufacture those. They might as well be made up. They might as well be clay dolls, don't it? Wait, are they clay dolls?
Like a couple of them.
Don't answer that. Actually, now that I've thought about it, the answer is probably so horrifying it'll give me nightmares.
It's like 38% of the total, I
I
guess.
said don't answer.
So yeah,
Answer
what's
your
the...
question. We're done talking.
Okay. Fair enough. I just noticed because Sen was flying about, saying
Oh, yeah, he's
Halloween.
feeling bit.
What's up with
Yeah, I
that?
don't know why he's doing.
Yeah, but
No,
something
you
weird
told me
must
I genuinely.
Something weird must have happened for that to be happening.
And then suddenly it just starts bursting into songs singing "This is Halloween" using Sen. Is
Yeah.
that's the only thing that she could cut. He's like, nope, can't think of anything. Just gotta sing.
It was like, I mean, I guess. Fair enough. Have a good day. But you just seem real quiet. I guess I'll just
Also,
leave.
there's a god in the room. It's just like, why is he here?
Yeah, why is God here? I mean, I know why this god's here, but why is that god here?
Court had a question.
Fair.
And
What was it?
Now I'm kind of stuck here.
Okay. What was the question? I want to learn things.
Looks to Court. Court gives him the shake.
Twinkle in her eye.
I know those. Don't bother with the twinkling in your eye. I know that those are the souls that you've absorbed from the innocent.
Oh, fine. She like reaches behind her ear and flicks a switch, and the twinkling goes away.
You can, with a passive perception of 16, I can just about hear the wails of the
Oh,
wails of the souls just go no.
if you look closely enough, you can see these tiny little like lavas with human faces on them inside the twinkles, all screaming in agony.
Well, if you want any kind of information to take away, we were talking about how some of the time dragons lieutenants have artifacts. So if you can figure out a way of killing them real good, that'd be productive.
Oh, okay. I'll start working on that. Some of them are really tough, actually.
I say killing, combating. I'd rather not kill anybody.
Murder everyone. Got it.
No.
Kill them all. Leave none
Either
left.
protect us from what they do, or just make them easier to fight.
She's
And
already
I think
gone.
She just ignores all of that. Yeah, she's already gone. He's like, God
She's
damn it.
already gone when you're like, no, don't just kill everyone. Kill everyone. Got it.
No, God damn it.
Oh, she's gone.
No,
just,
gone.
just as I finish the song.
Yeah.
Sorry, I broke.
Sorry.
It's okay.
A mayor
was a
walked in
tense
the room.
moment.
People broke.
A mayor will do that to people, yes.
Did you tell a mayor?
No.
Okay.
Welcome
skip-
back.
I gave her a task to do, and she went away.
She was wondering why the bat was saying Halloween and flying around, so she
But we
came
don't
to
have the answer to that.
investigate. And then she wandered off after being told, "Hey, go kill like a bunch of the Time Dragons' subordinates."
I said, "Don't
What?
kill," and then she said, "Kill."
Yeah, she only heard kill.
Was
Yeah.
Halloween?
Da, 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 da.
Oh yeah, you missed movie night.
This is the thing that I'm
It's-
not going to
oh.
understand. I'm sorry.
I
Well,
mean,
you didn't
even
understand Christmas.
even if someone explains it to you, you're probably not going to understand because it's kind of nonsensical to begin with.
Is it one of these weird
This is
mortal
true.
things?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Fume.
even I'll admit that one.
A piece of candy falls from the ceiling and lands in your hand.
Ooh, piece of candy.
I hand it to someone else.
What kind of
Who?
candy is it?
It looks like a chocolate.
What shape is it?
Circular.
I hand it towards Fireball.
Fireball.
Hello.
You are handed a spherical piece of chocolate by Fume.
I'll take it.
Cool.
I'll eat it.
You consume the chocolate.
Yeah.
It tastes like chocolate and is nice.
Hey, this is quite chocolatey.
This chocolate is very chocolatey.
Yeah, it tastes very nice.
Oh, thanks, Fume.
You're very welcome.
How are you doing anyway?
I'm very confused at what's happening. It's as if I've been missing large swathes of conversation.
It's fine.
True.
Are you following exactly what's happening?
Oh God, no.
You see a Wi-Fi symbol of a Fume's head, and it's just progressively sometimes been going to like 1 and then to
Oh, no,
maximum.
I was asking Fireball how he's doing following everything.
Oh, I've just been playing, Fire Solitaire over here.
Oh, you're just
I will-
vibing.
Been on
Instead
his
of
phone the
listening.
whole time.
Good.
He's playing solitaire with the deck of many things, and Ben is like, "No, what you doing?"
You see, if you put this one with the castle on top of this one with this dead guy, then they kind of make a cool image together.
But Fireballs managed to pair all of the cards that would do evil things and kill you instantly. And he can't, for some reason, he can't seem to get any of the good ones.
Well,
Yeah.
I thought it'd be like in solitaire, you have to go like black, red, black, red, black, red, all the
No,
way
I'm-
down.
I'm
Like
just
being a
referring-
number. So he has to do like positive, negative, all the way
Negative,
down.
negative, 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 negative.
I'm
Ah,
just
shit.
referring to the fact
You
that
lost your
Lawrence.
soul.
I'm just referring to the fact that Lawrence can't seem to draw anything good from the deck.
He is cursed. I like how the Book of Many Things has a disclaimer in the front of it saying Wizards is not liable for loss of your soul or magical properties or anything like that from use
Yeah,
of using the deck.
That's
And
funny.
the disclaimer says it's the deck of many things. What were you expecting to happen?
But yeah, Fireball, what
I
do you
like
think?
those little like disclaimer text things in the books.
What do you think about all this?
Yes, Fireball, explain your full theory on all of this.
Well, Solitaire's a fun game, mostly just for single player people, really.
Keep going,
so
keep
he's
going.
spaced out. Okay, so he's spaced out.
No. I was asked to explain Solitaire, right?
No, we want you to explain everything that happened over the past 2 hours. Or 3 hours.
Oh, well.
Cool managed it.
So he went.
We
off to-
have explained it at least 3 times.
Yeah, Colt read a book.
Yeah?
He wrote some stuff down. He told somebody about the stuff that he wrote down, and then he told somebody else.
Those statements are relatively accurate.
And then we're going to help somebody else do something with this information.
No, we need to figure out what the information all means because it's all just images at the moment with very little context.
Okay, let me have a look at it.
Fireball. You
Yeah.
see a
Right, so
shape that looks like an orb and stuff, and some notes that detail Colt's adventure through the book.
Okay. Do I recognize any orbs?
You recognize like some of the gods that got turned into artifacts because you recognize the artifacts, and you've heard of some of those gods and stuff from that section.
Okay.
You recognize
that's it.
like oh yeah, there's like you would recognize when Colt saw Ra get like defeated and then chained and then taken into Black Inky Void. You're like,
Yeah,
yeah, that's the
it'd be
thing.
interesting to see what Fireball's perspective is because he's in like the anti-universe. So it'd be like. Actually, I'm not sure what it would be like because we don't know the context of why the creatures in the orb ship did what they did, other than just to make stupidly powerful weapons.
Like you see, over where I, in my universe, instead like they used to have big square ships instead of big like spherical ships.
Fireball, you would have never heard of these things.
They had these. They were these people with these square ships, and they were called the Borg.
Yeah, they said resistance was futile.
I thought it was the Vogons.
But anyway,
I don't know.
do we know anybody that might know the deep lore of this entire situation? That isn't
Well, Tiny Cow does, but he needs to sing in order to access it.
okay.
That
Well,
11 was to use his phone. He's gonna take a photo and send and text it to Alan.
okay,
I've
when,
seen this before.
sorry, we're not using
Or do
a
you-
universal WMD. Sorry, but there must be some kind of government, maybe somewhere.
Yeah,
The-
but we
the-
don't
the-
want this information getting out. I had to power my way through that book to get this.
The Space British Empire are good, right?
No.
They're a force of good. They helped. They essentially helped fund other countries to develop themselves and develop reason like the like how they could sort of like set up resources that these different countries could then exploit.
Yeah, and
For the roads
and
that
then
we
they
made.
got all of their own artifacts and rare finds and gave them away to everyone.
Yeah.
We've met someone from that place. They were an imperialistic conqueror. It was that time when you were taking some time off moping because you'd lost your fire magic.
It can't have been that bad.
One of the worst people we've ever met.
Yeah, pretty much. I usually try to see the lighter side of people, but usually it's pretty bad.
Okay.
Take your shoved him in a pit of souls.
Well, isn't that just about as evil as conquering the universe?
Hey, he's his own man. He's got his own soul and his own mind. I'm not his dad.
Anyway, do we know someone that isn't an evil empire-building government, a mega-natural creator
I've
that
ju-
is
I've-
protective of the universe?
I've just texted someone who I know as a friend who might know, or they might know somebody who does at least recognize the ship. I haven't told him the whole story. I've just texted with a photo of the scribbles that I've done, and see if he says.
You will get a text back from Alan. Do you send him the whole story through the book or just the pictures?
Just the picture and say, does this look familiar, or like have you ever
Alan
read about anything that looks like this, or do you know someone who might?
Alan will hit you back with a message that just says, "Yeah, while I was in like another reality, I encountered like one or two of those before. Difficult battle."
Oh, question mark.
He's like, "Yeah, well, like I'm like a dimension walker." So
Yeah, but more like, what were they?
don't know. I just sort of like fought against them for a bit. I had like one encounter with them. I was transporting some like I was like a bodyguard for a god at the time. They want
Fucking Chad Colt thinks to himself.
they were like flying around on a ship, and we got attacked by these weird spheres, and we managed to just about fight them off, but they were quite tough. We got boarded by these weird like alien things.
Colt, if it makes you feel better, you're like my bodyguard, so that means you're a god's bodyguard. So you're equal.
Yeah.
And so that's basically what he relays to you.
This is all just in a text, but Court like relays that on. So he's like, okay, so Alan has seen them before, but he did say it was in another crystal sphere, I guess, or another universe, or another plane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He says
sends text back. Sends text back just to be clear that's not in this universe, right? You know, as
yeah,
if he's concerned.
he dream of the blue veil to get there, and then dream of the blue veil from there to get like to a couple of different like crystal spheres, and then he eventually ended up here.
Now the problem
And he's been
is, what if these are multi-spheral people? That makes
would
the
That
scope.
would be bad, right?
Yeah, it would make the scope of finding them tiny bit bigger.
It's just like the whole. I mean, they might be, but then again, humans are technically like multi-spheral and stuff, and so are elves and dwarves and things like that. Like, you know, lots of things are multi-spheral. They might, but you know, their cultures might be very different.
Sends him a text, so you don't know anyone who might know a bit more specifics.
I mean,
We're just really curious.
not for
'Cause we
here.
But
I mean, you could. I
But,
guess.
question
you-
mark.
I guess you could ask. Hang on, I'll go message some people I know in the government and get you access to like the big historical library.
library.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Oh God,
Court
reading.
just sends a text saying, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, a library, Sonia will be thrilled."
He sends you a code, and it's like, right, go to this website, type that in, and then you can sign into this online giant database.
TKO, do the thing. You're
You-
our computer.
You explained that, and suddenly I was like, I wanted to go to a library.
I mean, you can physically go there, and then he sends you some coordinates. It's there. I just thought this would be
Sonia,
more
if you'd rather go,
convenient.
we'll go there.
Maybe on the next day
Yeah,
off.
again, this is in text though, so Court,
It's just back and forth, back and
so,
forth.
Or yeah, if you want to use it, for downtime, yeah. But for now, we could just TKO it. You sure you just want to do this now for convenience, or do you want to actually go there?
Convenience.
Okay.
There's like a couple of books that are relevant, mostly ones that detail large swathes of history and generally things that happened, and like it's theorized that the crystal sphere that you're in right now, was made by some ancient race. Nobody really knows who. And it was initially really unstable until they made some large machine that is comprised of a series of artifacts that has been since been dismantled, as at the time we didn't know that the machine was holding the universe together. The machine was then created. It was left dormant for a very long time while it just held the many crystal spheres that had effectively been glued together to create this one much larger one for a very long time, until an expedition party discovered it right on the edge of several nations' territories, at which point each nation dismantled the sphere and took artifacts from it to use for their own gain. Now the universe is falling apart. War has broken out between the Time Dragon and all of the United Federation, who are trying to both acquire all of the artifacts to put them back together and save the universe. There's also a decent number of government agents that have like, and then it basically details like public and some like redact and some like private information about who has artifacts and stuff like that. So it tells you like oh, there's this like mercenary group we hired who has these artifacts, and there's this vault that has most of our artifacts in it, sporting like about 100. There's this other group that has this many artifacts that are working for us, stuff like that. And then like tactical data on what artifacts they think the Time Dragon has and stuff like that. But it doesn't seem like the general governments today know much of anything about that. There is actually a scholarly article written that studies like it seems like someone destroyed like all of the information to do with this period of history, and that's why no one can remember much from before. You also notice in the archives they don't know that the artifacts are comprised of gods. Like, they don't know they're made of gods. Like, but there are a lot of scholars who are like, something must have happened here, and now no one can remember what happened then.
Wait, what
We've
does it
asked a lot of
what does it
we've asked a
specify
lot
by
of
here?
gods. Oh, like no one can really remember when the big artifact came about that united all of these crystal spheres. We know that there were lots of crystal spheres, and we know they've united, but we don't really know what happened in after that, and to the formation of the machine. We don't really know when it happened, because records of all of that stuff seem to have been destroyed. Like, there are because they know there are civilizations old enough to have existed during that time. And they know that several gods existed during that time. But, like, they've questioned those beings, and they've went to places that are that old, and they've found, like, no evidence of anything happening at any point there. Something massive occurred to erase, like, all of that information.
I just thought, do we know where ground zero for all of this is/was? Like, where the artifact was? Is that a thing we know?
Which
It
artifact?
did say
Like, the big boy.
It
Oh,
did
the
say
eye.
on the fringe of several territories. I assume if it was on the fringe of several territories, then that would be detailed with coordinates. No?
It does detail with coordinates. It's where you've been before. It's the eye of the universe.
So that,
Like,
Yeah,
so
so we've
that
been
that's
there.
that's the point where the machine existed.
yeah, that's where it used to
Yeah.
be, and that's actually where the government have moved most of their artifacts
Okay.
in order to slow down the collapse of the universe.
Just making sure I checked that.
Like, they did issue a general order for all of their mercenary groups to hand in their artifacts there, so that the universe's collapse got slowed down a lot.
So really the only ones that are still out there, Rogue, are the ones that we have and the ones that the Time Dragon has. So they're
Yeah,
all fighting the Time Dragon to try and get his artifacts off him.
yes.
I wonder why he doesn't just fucking... Although this is me thinking this, I would think that it would be the smartest move to just collaborate instead of combat when it comes to, oh yeah, if we don't get this item to this place, reality ends.
I
So-
mean, they are currently fighting a war about it.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. And to be fair, I have suggested collaboration in the past, but
I'm more having a go at the Time Dragon here.
Yeah.
Because, like, apart from all the other ones, us and him, and we're happy to collaborate, but he seems to be the only one who's like, no, fuck you, die.
I mean,
he is sort of like offered to collaborate, but with that
Yeah,
would,
with us.
that would put us onto his side.
Yeah.
there are several like psychological reports on each of the general government's wants, ideals, and stuff like that. The governments have all just generally come together and have agreed on the idea that we just need to stop the universe collapsing for now. But the Time Dragon seems more convinced that as soon as we stop that happening, someone will go behind everyone else's back and just try and edit reality for their own benefit. Like once they have the machine.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm worried about as well. Because I'd rather just seal it away so that
Like
nobody can get to it.
multiple times the Time Dragon has stated that like he's went to the future, saw what happened, and every time like we just unite the universe together, it always goes wrong. Like there are a lot of official reports that just say something akin to that. Of like someone goes behind someone's back, uses the machine in a way that's unforeseen, and it's not good.
But there's nothing in here that mentions these ships or what weapons that
No,
the government would have had to fight gods or anything like that.
no, you would guess that most of the civilizations in the current government weren't formed back then, and also nobody really knows anything about what happened back then.
Okay, he has just
Right.
a so out there thought, which even Time Boy might not have considered because it's just utter stupidity to do it.
But I'm still listening because that's what we do here.
Yeah. Technically, if we manage to completely erase one of the artifacts, then they couldn't rebuild the thing, thus no one could betray anyone.
But then wouldn't everybody just nuke us? Because we did that.
Maybe, but it's
Also,
it's,
I kind
it's
of do want this reality, this crystal sphere to keep going.
no. I don't
My home
mean
lives in it.
to like give up on the universe, but maybe I know that this is a real bad time to start thinking this now, but maybe we're actually thinking about this wrong. Everyone's distracted with the whole artifact thing. There might actually be another way around this. Like, if we can deal with something that can at least stop the phlogiston flowing in, then not everything's fixed, but the universe is no longer ending.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be other things that can deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, like, individuals, not naming any names on this ship, have punched holes in the universe before allowing phlogiston through. Or
A mess
stopped- or-
sneezes.
Yeah, and it's just like, if we're packing that kind of firepower, surely we're packing the kind that can fix it.
Yeah, so it's just like nobody would expect someone to be so stupid that they would try to destroy one of the most powerful things in existence that can let you rewrite reality. No one would think anyone is stupid enough to do that. So they might not be, like, it might be enough that this kind of thinking might keep us out of some radars.
Yeah, but why would we destroy one? Or erase one, more accurately?
Because the whole issue that the Time Dragon is, like, what he keeps saying is, yeah, we fix the universe, but then always someone comes out to backstab so they get the universe-changing artifact or super artifact. If it can never again be completed, then
I mean,
it would definitely make everyone hate us. But
I know that. This is gonna sound like really bloody selfish, and trust me, it's the opposite of what I initially thought, right? But holds up the silver saber in its scabbard. This is pretty easy to defend, and protect, and keep hidden. And it's like a key in of itself. If we're able to just keep that out of any other hands, it can't be completed, and then whoever owns it, you probably me or whoever I end up training up after I pass on, if they're wielding it, they go, yeah, you want this artifact to get the universe altering power, you'll have to fight it out of my hands. Oh,
I
by the
mean,
way, I'm
yeah,
about to
but-
use it.
But then you're going to be in the exact same position that Time Boy's in. That's essentially what he's doing. The government are like, give me the things, and he's like, if you want them, come and get them. I'm not saying that this is me trying to present an easy option.
yes.
This is
One-
not
one
an easy
yes.
option.
One, yes, I hear what you're saying, but two, we really should make sure that we have the whole fix the crystal sphere part down first, then do that.
You would also, if you did like look into it a bit, there are some articles on like people who've tried to destroy artifacts in the past.
Yeah. But artifacts, in general, not just these super ones, in general, defy destruction.
Yeah, no one has been able to permanently destroy or erase any of the artifacts. On one occasion, someone was able to break one, but it very quickly reformed.
My thinking is less destroy though, more. If there was a process which can make gods into these, there has to be a way to reverse it. That's just like scientific theory that there has to be something that can reverse what happened in some way, which would
Sounds like it.
undo at least one thing.
Sounds like a job for Discovery.
Ben is like, I mean, it's a reasonable theory, especially because most people don't know that these are made of gods.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be something that would be pursued a lot.
So this kind of actually once again leads us back into where we roughly were of wanting to look into this other ancient civilization and
I also just
these ships
Sorry.
that they had as a like flagpole.
Yeah, I also just thought of one other thing. It might just be just another little poster to add to the maybe pile. That time we fought Orwell, or the last god that we fought, you hit one of her angels, and he blinked out of existence for a while, and then came back later, after the fighting was over. Am I right in saying that you effectively shunted him forward in time? Is that right?
Mm-hmm. More or less.
What if you took that and just cranked it right up to like absurd god tier levels, so that you shunted one of the artifacts to like the end of the universe?
I
Like
mean,
the end of all existence.
yes, definitely that is a possibility, but
Like
Two-
far enough forward where even tiny cow goes, damn, I'm gonna have to wait a while for that.
the problem there is finding the thing, because I know that we have like the power artifact, but if it's to like the ends of time and space, I feel like it needs to be something bigger. But seeing that,
Like the
it's
power
not some
artifact.
it's not something we can't not at least try or again look into.
We also have to bear in mind that the Time Dragon made duplicates. Somehow. Unless his are fakes.
Also that depending on how old his main timeline goes, he might exist at the end of the universe.
Ben will pipe up with, actually, there's a reasonable chance he knows what happened back then, because if he ever forgets anything, he can just revisit that time.
I was thinking that is an option, but
So,
I mean, he's not on immediate kill on sight terms with us yet. We haven't attacked any of his lieutenants yet, so
hypothetically,
Might be
we could
worth having
try
a
and ask him
conversation.
about it. Yeah.
we could just approach him in the whole, hey, one of us is a god. We're just like, regular Joe schmoes that are caught in this.
We're just regular Joe
regular
schmoes,
guy,
most
just a
powerful-
bunch of regular guys.
You know
most
what I
powerful
mean?
warriors in the
am.
universe. I'm just a regular everyday guy who can blow a planet up. Regular
what-
every day.
What compared to armies of gods and time dragons and things? I'm a dude who punches good. You know what I mean?
You punch roll good though.
Yeah, I punch real good, but put me in front of an army of gods and I'm what's the phrase I'm looking for? All as good as useless.
I don't know. You're at least equivalent to like a lot of the demigods. Not all demigods. I mean, Sunya is probably one of the strongest demigods, but not by virtue of the fact that she is a demigod, just by virtue of the fact that Sunya is real powerful.
Real
Like-
strong.
But you know how much of a how much I am not suffering from confidence. I'm just being realistic here. If you go to a time dragon and say, "Hey, you and a bunch of gods are fighting. I'm a mortal man caught in the middle of it. Can you give me some context here?
Context, please.
You've been here longer than most things. I've been here for 26 years.
Fair.
Context, thanks.
So, how are you gonna contact the time dragon about this?
Is it okay if we like leave that for like? A
Yeah,
later
we
one?
can leave it for later.
Yeah.
I was just
Call-
like, is that what you're gonna do next, so that we can do this next time? Because I think it's getting late, so it's sort of like a good place to call it. And I'm just like, what do you guys want to do next?
I mean, for the most part,
We'll
our,
prob- we'll
our
probably-
party
we'll
is on
probably
good
sh-
terms with him.
We probably should
Cool.
talk to him before we go attacking any lieutenants for more artifacts. You know, because I think attacking one of his lieutenants would burn the bridge.
I mean, I am lucky that I managed to do the whole time stop in the alternate future thing and talk to him. That might have at least got us on, like, relatively good terms. Not as allies, but not as enemies.
At least
yeah,
enough for him.
That's a
At
good
least
place
enough
to
for him
be.
to say. At least enough for him to go, "Oh, that's interesting. Oh yeah, I'll talk about this fight that I had ages ago. Sure. You guys weren't there."
Like, the problem is,
So-
he doesn't want bad things to happen, but
And it would help if we had context.
his good things
He
are,
is
like, free will removing.
He has come to a different conclusion than you. He's not necessarily evil. He's more a shade of grey.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That is
Yeah.
a big problem. But then
So-
so is the bloody government as well.
It's true.
But there's a lot more of them, and they've got mercenaries, and they're
And
also
they're-
the only ones who asked us to kill somebody.
And they're every shade of grey in the book.
There's a big book of greys.
There's a big book
There
of
might
grey.
be 50 of
big
them.
ass-
Have you ever read the book that's just 50 Shades of Grey, and it is literally just 50 shades of the color grey?
I mean, I do have a book that was a joke made by the YouTuber Ashens, which is 50,000 Shades of Grey.
50,000.
And it's just the words 50 Shades of Grey 50,000 times.
Nice.
It's like, so, yeah, it does technically exist.
But how would we go about doing it? Would that be using that spell that Fume used again to talk to him?
I mean, what I would say that probably the best thing to do if we want to try to appear on equal footing is contact him, spell-wise, normal-wise, whatever, and ask to have, like, a meeting where we actually sit down and talk in, like,
Yeah.
a neutral area.
Yeah.
Ben will also just quickly throw in the ring. Talking to the memory god could tell us a lot, simply because he's probably the one who caused everyone to forget everything
Yeah.
during the void period.
After meeting him in his book world, I wanted to see him properly. He doesn't seem like a bad guy, really. He just seems incredibly unlucky. I think you'd like him, Sonia. He's by the sounds of my notes and what he was like, he seems to be quite the bookworm.
Big nerd, got it.
Yeah. So, yeah, talk to them too. Probably the next thing.
Okay,
Mm.
cool. I think that's a good place to end the session because it is getting late and we've covered a lot.
I think that's enough
A lot
lore
of
for today.
lore.
There are
Yes.
sadly
We
no
have-
Dalmatians.
We've
It-
done a
it-
very big lore episode.
Is today's episode titled just the word law written 50 times?
God, it should be now.
What lore?
Lore.
You got so much
Hello,
lore
Graham.
done.
Go back
You
and
enjoyed
watch
the lore.
VOD. I think I'm gonna have to watch the VOD. We've covered that much, and I've been making notes about it.
God.
This is
I'm
all
gonna have to go and listen
I
anyway.
hate it.
we finally got round to a lot of the stuff that I had planned to do in like the second arc of this campaign, i.e., after you guys had killed Ben Oren.
We're in like arc 12.
Yeah. Yes,
I'm-
we are.
Yes, on to Arc 13!
For today's episode of